All right, Tim Hortons has this. It's the Team Canada hockey cards, which we love, and I'm just going to open mine up right now because there's plenty of different things that we can get. Travis Sanheim card. Ooh. I got a Brandon Hagel card, and I got a Steve Yzerman Nagano card.
Ooh.
What?
He's going to trade Jake Wallman and pay assets to get rid of
That's right.
Is that what that card does?
I thought we waved the white flag on him.
And then go on to almost win the division.
Yes.
I have Emma Malte.
Hey!
Friend of the show.
Guest of the show, Noah Dobson and Josh Morrissey.
Not on the show.
Yeah, and Montreal Canadiens, so
Well, I got a guy who's going to be on the show later today, Connor McDavid.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the show later.
He's going to be on the show.
Okay,
He's going to zoom in.
Capacity.
He's going to Skype in. I also got Steve Yzerman. Did we get the same card?
Oh, that's the Olympic medalist card. No, I did not.
Different Yzerman.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yes, this is the Salt Lake card. Multi-time Olympian. And Brandon Montour.
There you go. Now, there is a Team Canada Sidney Crosby signature card, 87 to be won. Team Canada Nathan McKinnon signature card, 29 of those available. Tim's gift cards. There's also the free coffee and tea, and also free donut card, which Jesse's been desperately searching for. 3 cards in every pack.
My Boston cream.
2 base cards and 1 specialty right now at your local Tim Hortons. Check it out. Your Tim Hortons Team Canada trading cards. Trade video time, and it's the first one and kind of the last one because the trade deadline has passed.
This is also the start of today's STB.
Yeah. We've already recorded it, but, Artemi Panarin was traded, and Adam Schefter, who is an ESPN insider, but mostly for the NFL, broke the trade. The LA Kings have acquired Artemi Panarin. He had to call him standout forward Artemi Panarin. If he was a hockey guy, wouldn't have to do that. From the New York Rangers in exchange for a conditional 3rd-round pick. I don't know what the conditions are. Please don't ask me. And prospect Liam Greentree. Emily Kaplan was apparently first on this as well. She was working with Adam Schefter on it. They both work for ESPN, don't you know? So Liam Greentree, conditional 3rd for Artemi Panarin. As of right now, as of this recording, there is no extension. And what's interesting here is that apparently what held this trade up, because he apparently wants to make the move over the Olympic break. Russia's not in the Olympics, so he's not going to be playing for them. What apparently made this happen is he was waiting to see if anybody would step up with an extension. Nobody did.
Yikes.
Nobody broke.
So I wonder if kind of feels like there might be a chance he gets traded again, doesn't it?
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't
Because there are games between now and the trade deadline. Not a whole hell of a lot.
I understand why you say that, but I think, well, first off, LA is not squarely in the playoff picture.
Right.
But we were talking, and we've talked about this several times, guys, on the show this week about what a great fit Los Angeles would be, especially on that second line, next to a guy that we've been saying for years, it's about time he broke out. Who am I talking about?
Quentin Byfield.
Quentin Byfield.
That's right.
Yep.
And I think this guy might be perfect for him. Plus, LA needs to go for it. It's Anze Kopitar's last.
This is exactly what they need. I think we were very on it with that conversation a couple days ago. Like, he fits perfectly in their window. They are going to have the cap space to sign him if they want to. The left wing is an area that they are a little light on. I know they have Fiala and Moore and Perry and Malott there right now, but he's going to go right into that top line. I think he can play next to Kopitar, and they're going to have a good little run here, or he can just push Corey Perry down and play on that second line. And this could be, I think this could be a really good acquisition for the Kings if they want to make that playoff push, which they are trying to do. Having
a top 6 wing situation of some combination of, I would assume more over Perry. Maybe not. Like Perry, Fiala, Panarin, and Kempe. That is frigging ridiculous.
The thing I'm most shocked about with this trade is they didn't have to give up anything off the roster.
Yeah.
What a fantastic move for them, and no real draft capital either. It really shows how much Panarin controlled the situation, because I thought they would get a lot more than this. Maybe Chris Drury's just bad at his job, which he might be, which I think he is. But I think LA is doing fantastic here with this deal and getting Panarin in there for nothing that they're losing off their NHL roster.
Now, Rangers fans, you probably want to know a little bit about Liam Green.
Tell me about the tree and why it's green, Steve Dangle.
So as soon as I heard the trade, I'm like, ooh, that's not very much. Wait, what do you mean Liam Green tree? So he was a first round pick, 26th overall, 2024. Of the LA Kings. His last season in the OHL was absolutely preposterous. In 64 games, well, I should say in his draft year, in 64 games, he had 36 goals and 90 points.
Okay.
That's how you go in the first round. The next season, also in 64 games, 49 goals, 119 points. That's so many points.
That's a lot of points.
Now, Windsor was stupid stacked last year. That's why they had a little playoff run like they did. He played 11 playoff games last year, 14 goals, 24 points. This season, he's obviously taken a step back. In 34 games, he has 23 goals, 45 points. That's not nearly the point pace, but the Windsor Spitfires as a whole have taken a step back. He's everything you want in a junior prospect. He is from Oshawa, Ontario. That's a big plus in junior hockey. He's 6'3", he's 216 as a 20-year-old, and he has a ridiculous scoring touch. This guy, I think, is going to be a Ranger next year.
Well, yeah, I think so too.
100% agree with that.
I want to say this about the Los Angeles Kings. They are third last in goals for this season, third best in goals against this season. They need to score. Mm-hmm. And their power play percentage is just ahead of the Flames, weirdly the Avalanche, and the Utah Mammoth, 15.6% for the Los Angeles Kings. Artemi Panarin, guys, is a power play god. He can spread the field a little bit, take a little bit of the pressure on power play one off of a guy like Drew Doughty, for instance. What do you think he brings in terms of overall, not just star power to LA, which is a city of stars, but experience and this push for the playoffs that's so important to them?
Well, now I'm trying to remember all these stats off the top of my head from 2012, but like it's definitely giving me the vibes of that. That was not a particularly special team that the Kings had. And if I'm not mistaken, when they went out and got Jeff Carter, I want to say they were 11th in the West. They were, if I remember correctly, second in goals for or in possession after the Jeff Carter trade. I could see this being just as transformational for the Kings. They're obviously betting on goaltending. They have an Olympic caliber goaltender in Darcy Kemper. They have an Olympic defenseman back there in Drew Doughty. I'm not as bullish on
the Edmondsons and CCs of the world.
Yeah, I'm not as bullish on that decor.
And Jesse's not bullish on Jim Hiller.
Right, no, he's not.
No, Jim Hiller's a bad head.
He's not bullish on him at all. But this team is going to be very difficult to handle because they've already, when they're healthy, and this is an important thing, they're already pretty formidable up the middle. Like, it's crazy that Byfield's playing on their third line, according to Daily Faceoff. But this could be the kind of transformational trade that the Carter one was, because how often are you able to add a player the caliber of Artemi Panarin at the trade deadline?
Oh, never.
It just doesn't happen.
Jesse, you look at the wild card situation in the West, and the LA Kings obviously are in the thick of it. Within striking distance of a wild card spot right now are the Nashville Predators at 58 points, although we think they're fading. San Jose's been put up a really great effort this year. Wherever they finish, I think they're going to look at it as a successful year. Then you've got LA. So San Jose at 58, LA at 60. The second wild card spot right now is held by the Kraken at 61 points. First wild card spot held by the Utah Mammoth at 62. But the division is within striking distance because, Jess, the LA Kings are within 4 points of number one.
Yeah, no, if you're asking me to put money on somebody who's going to get into the playoffs, who's outside of the playoff picture, right? I don't have it in front of me.
They are outside by one. Yeah,
I would put money on the Kings getting back to the playoffs again. Like, the Pacific is really weak in terms of like where they all sit in terms of the overall NHL standings. The feasting on overtime and shootout points by the Pacific Division teams is actually insane when you look at the standings. So I think the Kings can easily make a push here to get in.
The Golden Knights and Edmonton Oilers are 1 and 2 in the Pacific. They both have more losses than wins.
Let me ask you this. Last question, gentlemen. Let's say they don't get first in the division. Let's say they get to third, okay? Or even second. It's LA and Edmonton for a fifth straight year if that happens. So far, the Kings are 0-4. Would you take a Los Angeles team, great defense, bolstered by Artemi Panarin on offense, against the relatively shaky-looking Edmonton Oilers in the first round? Would you take LA? Will they finally get through the Oilers if they got to play?
I'm gonna say no.
And you have to show your work. Explain your work.
Other 4 times.
Okay. All right. Jesse, what do you think?
Yeah, what are we talking about? I'm gonna quote George Bush. He said, "Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, won't get fooled again." Won't get fooled again. That's an actual quote. Look it up.
But this trade, I think, is your best chance of avoiding them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but like,
Also,
if they face them, they're gonna lose.
Yes.
Could it be Ken Holland's revenge?
That is a crazy, fun little storyline.
Isn't it?
And I'm fascinated to know, this is why I've been thumping the Leafs so much for getting something done before the Olympic freeze. Now Ken Holland has the next month
To do other things.
to work on whatever the hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gonna be
That's
real
exciting.
fascinating.
Can we talk about the Ranger side of it? We spent a lot of time in the Kings.
Sorry, yeah.
Chris Drury, this is a mark on the way he has run this organization over the last couple of years. We've reached the point where you have one of the biggest stars in franchise history, one of the best players on your team. You have to trade him for a conditional third and a top-end prospect, and that is all you're getting for this season of Artemi Panarin. You should have never reached this point with Panarin because you should be pushing for the playoffs, but you've mishandled this roster so much that this season and last season have been disasters. It should have never been this way because this was your competitive window based on the 24 team. And since that conference finals run, you've messed up this whole thing so much that this is the end of the tenure of Panarin in New York. And that is a huge stain on your legacy as GM. And it really speaks to how you've run this team.
He is probably the greatest free agent they've ever signed. Maybe people want to say Mark Messier, but in terms of total points, Panarin's numbers are unbelievable. Jesse, are you saying that to the camera for the audience, or are you talking to James Dolan?
I am. James Dolan would never listen to this. I don't know if this can get into his bar he's playing at with his dad rock band.
Yeah,
the guitars are probably too loud, so he'd never hear this podcast. But if he were to ever to listen to this, stop making Drury your side man to do all of your biddings, and realize he has not been running this team very well for the last few years, and this is what has happened to a franchise icon here. It's a shame.
Last word, Steve Dangle.
There's not a ton to smile upon with what the Rangers have done. Here's my guess. I think Liam Greentree is a really good prospect, and I think the conditions on that third rounder are based on making the playoffs and re-signing. My guess is if things go well in LA, it ends up as a first.
There you go.
That's my guess.
We'll see.
That's a bold guess. We'll see.
And,
all right.
And then it would be 2 firsts for Panarin, and you could do worse.
SDP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wild, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
All right.
Adam all over the intro.
Oh, well, I thought you would have muted me over the intro.
All right, it's his first day.
Yeah, here. First time ever doing the podcast. Welcome.
Jesse, top of the sheet. Top of the sheet. I need to know more about this sign. David Alter took this picture last night in Edmonton. Leafs took on the Oilers, and I need to know how this was divided up. Okay, this is a very important thing. There are a lot of Leaf fans on the Western road trip. They're always there. And it was kind of great to see the Go Leafs go and the Let's Go Oilers chants back to back.
I think that bangs.
It's
think that's
wicked.
awesome.
It was an electric night. We had a good fight between Darnell Nurse and Brandon Carlo.
Interesting.
All right, now look at this. Our family is divided, Leafs versus Oilers. The loser does chores. So it looks like the Oilers part of the family is doing chores today. And what I need to know is, who are they?
I think it's just
And
the parents.
well, I'm
Because
sure it's the parents.
that's
there.
a lot of kids,
Well,
man.
they just put the kids down at the front.
Yeah, I know.
But I need to know what kind of chores they have to do. What are your chores today that you don't want to do? Or is it for the week? Is it for the month? I need to know more.
Ooh. I'm
Because
gonna
I'd go for the
say-
month on that.
Let's be honest; those kids aren't doing chores.
You don't think they're doing anything?
They're not doing chores.
Really?
No. So I think it's laundry. I think it's the kind of chore that you allow your kids to help with.
Okay.
Like in the same way that my less than 2-year-old daughter throws clothes in the laundry machine.
Okay. She
And they
likes that.
usually don't make it all the way in and end up on the floor.
I think those kids are old enough to do chores. My
She
kid does
helped.
chores.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
That's
Maybe they're on their iPad, Adam, all the time instead of doing work.
Jesse.
Yeah.
What's the chore that you would be like? You would bet so you wouldn't have to do it.
So this isn't Pablo Torre, but a little investigation on the situation that's happening. You rightly pointed out that the kids go down on the glass, and
Yeah.
the only one down at the glass is the one wearing the least gear.
Yeah.
So the people to do the chores are not young enough to be up against the glass. So the people who have to do the chores are older people who will do normal ass chores. They're either the parents who will just do the kids' laundry or like teenagers who will just do whatever they do around the house.
Jesse
So,
Blake finds out.
I think we've just based on process of elimination here on who's up against the glass and who has to do chores. I think adults in the family or teenagers will have to do regular ass chores. There you go. Is that what you
All right.
wanted?
As long as it's Oilers
What
fans.
was your chore though that you'd want to get rid of? That's what I wanted to know.
Chore I want to get rid of?
Yeah, like the one that you hate doing.
I don't hate any chore. They're all kind of the same bar to me. Like dishes and laundry and vacuuming, they're all kind of the same level of if you want to do it or not. Like,
Dishes is easy. Laundry's easy. What was the other one? Vacuuming is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Folding the laundry, tedious, so I don't like it. Like it just takes forever. It's not hard.
that's a really good one.
Yeah, especially little tiny kids close.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I think you got it.
Yeah.
Folding.
Bottom one. I don't know if everyone has this, but those of you who do, emptying the green bin.
Oh, that's not fun. In the
Bottom
summer.
tier chore.
In the winter, it's fine.
No, it's still bottom tier.
Really?
Bottom tier.
Oh, I don't
It
mind.
stings.
Steve nailed it. You found the one.
There it is.
Folding laundry, like putting it away part is the most annoying chore on my tier list.
It's just tedious. That's
Yep.
an audiobook chore.
Yes,
Or podcast chore.
100%. That's why I like doing it.
Shoveling
my God, it
snow,
gives me a minute.
best chore.
Shoveling snow is the best chore.
Why?
I love shoveling.
Why do we love it?
It's fun. It's a good activity. Like I like an activity. I will do anything to do an activity, and shoveling counts. But it's a chore.
You're supposed to warm up beforehand. Do you warm up beforehand, guys? Do you do your stretches? You know you're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
When you get over 30, you're supposed to
I do.
warm up before your
I'm
chores.
good.
I do.
I
bet you're
You don't
good.
have to get ready if you stay ready.
Whoa.
I got a question for you. I got a question for you.
All right.
City of Toronto, if you're not from here, you probably have this situation if you're in the Northeast, somewhere you live. Maybe it's similar. There's a lot of street parking. Not a lot of people have driveways here in Toronto.
Yep.
And it gets a little dicey when the snow falls because you have to go shovel out your own spot where your car was when you got to leave. And then you've now shoveled a freshly new space for somebody to come in and take your spot that you shoveled. Now, I think it's okay. Like I'm doing the neighborhood a solid. Sometimes I'll shovel out a couple spots just for the hell of it.
Oh,
The
that's
segment's about how Jesse's a hero.
yeah.
It's like, whatever.
He's the Harry Potter
You're
of
the
his
neighborhood.
street.
Everyone
Good
in the
for you.
street loves me, whatever. So I'll do it. I don't care if they take my spot, somebody else. But do you guys, if you have to do street parking, you have to shovel out a spot, are you getting mad? Are you a little like, nothing I can do, but
I think shoveling is a neighborhood duty. I'm happy to shovel a sidewalk that isn't mine. If I got time, I'll shovel a driveway that's not mine. Mm-hmm. I'm not even knocking on your door to ask you. I'm just doing it.
just running up to people's houses and shoveling their driveway?
I'm just going to friggin' do it. I was taught from a young age that is a good thing to do. I did
Especially
something.
if you have elderly neighbors and stuff.
Oh,
like that.
yeah, that's a little
Always helpful.
Yeah.
And a hack, and this only works if you get the powder snow like we got recently, shovel the street. Safely. Don't get hit by a car. But shovel it. If you know which way the plow is coming, go down that way so that the giant wall of snow that the plow creates in front of your driveway is smaller.
Have you seen the new plows? They've gotten around that. Their arms.
Not the ones in Ajax.
Oh, they have them in different parts of the GTA. The arms go, and then when they get to a driveway, it lifts up.
Oh.
And then it goes, and then it comes back down.
Hey.
And it goes.
Thank you,
cool.
whoever discovered
Now,
that.
are you going to
Thank
answer
you.
Jesse's question?
I don't remember what it was.
You said a lot of stuff there.
I don't remember what it was.
Are you getting mad at somebody taking your spot after you shovel it out for your car?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like you're a getting mad kind of guy.
Well, I shoveled it.
Yeah.
You know what I saw recently? There was a video, I want to say it was from both perspectives, where someone shoveled out a spot, someone stole that spot, and so that person then poured water on the snow all around that person's car and
sealed
froze them in.
Yeah, and then I think that person updated their TikTok and they had to get their car towed because it was like so bad or something. It was awful. But yeah, that person was so mad that they took the spot that they shoveled out that they froze in their car.
There's a lot of that going on. I'm noticing that like in the like apartment buildings that have parking too is like I'm noticing a lot of the States, these like outdoor parking lots that they have, and they're like, hey, I shoveled that out, that's my spot, and they're like, it belongs to anybody. And so for me, I don't worry about this shit because I have a truck and I don't have to shovel anything out, so I just drive up on whatever snowbank there is. So
you've never shoveled out a parking spot?
Never on the street. No. I had a truck for I've had trucks for almost 10 years now, so it's been a while. And then before that I had like indoor parking, which I don't have right now. So, you know,
that I'm never experiencing.
No, I used to do driveways, but I'm not.
You got a heated driveway there, Connor?
I'm not going to do a City of Toronto like side parking spot that I've already. No, that's
because the city doesn't do it. Like that'll never happen.
No, they never do.
They should.
No, they never friggin' do. I pay for that parking pass too, and they where you can park in a certain area. Yeah, no, they don't ever friggin' shovel it out. So you gotta run it over yourself. So yeah, I guess I get upset when I've run my parking spot down and some dipsy little Civic gets in there and is like, "This is mine now. I am Civic and King." So yeah,
that's what you do get mad.
Yeah, sure. What the hell? But I haven't done any shoveling, so I can't really be mad. Hey, you know what's great?
What?
Not having to ask the question, "What's for dinner?"
That's a struggle every day. You're like, I gotta figure out something to eat.
Buddy, lunch is even an issue for me. Like I breakfast every day I have the same thing, but sometimes you gotta have some help, and that's where Tempo comes in. You're gonna love Tempo because Tempo delivers fresh, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals right to your door. And as somebody who's put on some weight in the last few years, I find it particularly useful for shedding said weight. It's kind of nice, you know?
Not me. I'm a bone rat.
Now, even athletes.
That's because of Tempo.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 20 new recipes every single week. Nutrient-rich ingredients. Even Maria Sharapova uses it. For a limited time, Tempo is offering our listeners, that'd be you, SDP listeners, 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/SDP. Again, that's tempomeals.com/SDP for 60% off your first box. Tempomeals.com/SDP. Rules and restrictions apply. Anyway, the Toronto Maple Leafs played last night, and going into the game, they'd had 9 power plays in their previous 7 games. Which is cool.
It's even worse than that. Because during this game, once we hit second intermission, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. The Toronto Maple Leafs went 3 consecutive hours of gameplay without getting a single power play.
Now, are we talking about hours watched or hours played?
Played.
Okay, so how many games is that?
So 5 minutes into the third period against Seattle, they got one. There's 15 minutes the rest of the game.
Okay.
65 minutes against Vancouver. We're now up to 80 minutes. It's an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
Another 60 minutes against Calgary. So we're now up to 140 minutes. So that's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Add on the 40 minutes from the first 2 periods of the Oilers game. We're at 3 hours. Insane. And then 6 minutes in, the dam opens.
Yeah, and they get a 5-on-3 and score on both penalties.
Hilarious.
Matias Michelli and John Tavares.
They've actually scored on their last 3 power plays.
Oh.
But you got to go all the way back to the Seattle game, and it was your favorite player.
Scott Laughton?
Morgan Riley.
Oh. Sorry, I thought you meant my actual favorite player.
No.
John Tavares did get his 20th. Which he's been an automatic to do. He's done that 16 of 17 years, and the only other year he had 19, and it was a shortened year.
Yep.
But Matias Michelli is, what's the condition on Matias Michelli?
Don't you dare.
Because Matias Michelli, if he gets 51 points, that 3rd round pick that they traded to Utah for him upgrades to a 2nd. Does it not?
That's right. Yeah.
He would have to play at a McDavid level pace.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he has sort of been, but
He has 24 points. So, and there's what? They're at 56 games. Like, I think
He's less than halfway there still.
Yeah. I think we're good.
Okay, all right. Because every time he scores, I'm like, yay. Cool.
No, because if he scores 1 point per game the rest of the way, let me do the math. Oh, no. No, yeah, they're okay. So the first goal, I was like, all right, let's go. Second one, I went, whoa, Nelly. You slow down there, Michelli. Whoa, Nelly, Michelli.
Here's the condition. The third round pick that the Leafs sent to Utah for Michelli, it upgrades to a second in 2029, which I think is interesting based on just like all the picks that the Leafs have sent out. Their 2027 third round that they sent to Utah upgrades to a 2029 second if Toronto makes the playoffs this season and Michelli records at least 51 points.
Okay. We're good. They're not making the playoffs. Now, John Tavares got his 20th, like I mentioned. Nyes had a goal and an assist while still injured. A lot of people are starting to talk about him and going, well, is that $7 million worth it? He's got a knee injury that requires rest. There's people.
They're wrong.
Okay.
They're wrong.
Leafs are 3-0 on this road trip. They don't play again for another 21 days. 25th of February will be their first one. And Anthony Stolarz last night got his first win since what date?
Oh, boy. November 16th.
Jesse.
December 12th.
November 5th.
Wow.
First win. He hadn't played since Remembrance Day, but November 5th was his last win. So
who is that even against?
I don't even know. And you know what? I don't care. I really don't care. It's been a long time. And the other thing is that he was pretty great like really good on the high danger chances. I think there was 9 of them.
A lot of last night's game looked like last year.
Yeah.
Where like last year's team was flawed in the way that they played, and a lot of the numbers looked ugly, but they won so often that you're like, yeah, it's just what they do though. Nah, they're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. That's a little bit what it looked like.
It was a really good game. It was a game where the exactly like how you said, it's the game where the Leafs just kind of hung around and they capitalized on opportunities when they got it, which was the power plays that they got. And that's how they won all the games last year. It was, you never looked like the better team. You always just kind of there. And then when you got a couple of chances, you buried it. You got outshot to death. Yes. And then you scored on the couple of chances you had. And that's how they beat the Oilers.
And the Oilers had so much more of the puck. And it like didn't matter.
No.
Like it wasn't. No. Stolarz was very good. He got the belt last night for a reason. But like, I don't know. Did he steal it? Ingram made some good saves too.
I think both goalies had really good games.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if he stole it. And that's, I think, last year's Leafs in a nutshell. Hey, did the goalie play well? Oh, the goalie played well. Yeah. Did he steal it? They just sort of capitalized on their chances.
But you also need that upper tier goalie performance for this team to win.
Yes.
When they don't get it, they can't do anything.
That's Berube.
You know, so it's the bar for goaltending needs to be at the best they can be, and which it was last night.
That's Berube hockey.
The Oilers did outshoot the Leafs 37-26, but some of that can be score effects trying to come back at the end of a game. Some of that is just the Oilers are better.
Yeah, and I think the eye test there lends to the numbers. Like the Leafs weren't in the zone a lot. That they've never been in the zone a lot all year long in all 57 games, and they weren't. And Oilers just kind of had the puck, and they threw a lot of pucks on that.
And we've seen enough like McDavid games against the Leafs where like we know even in a game where he doesn't do all that well, there's 3 or 4 McDavid moments. Mm-hmm. Did last night have one?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the one timer.
You remember when he was sitting in Draisaitl's spot?
Yeah. The one time. So one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't know. I thought
it's low for him.
I thought McDavid had a good game.
Well, like there's regular person good game, and then there's McDavid good game. I don't know if he had a good game by his standard, but his standard's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. The Leafs now move to 25-5-1 without Morgan Rielly since 2020 in the lineup. One thing that him not being in the lineup, it's and listen, you think I'm going to hammer Morgan Rielly again? I'm not. I think him not being in the lineup has forced them to do other things. And one of the things that they've broken up is the Morgan Rielly, Oliver Ekman-Larsson pairing. Thank God. Carlo McCabe look pretty good together.
Dude, back-to-back games. This might be the best back-to-back games Carlo's played in weeks.
And he fought.
And he
did fight.
Darnell Giants teddy bear fought.
On Saturday night, I was on the stream like, get off my hockey team. Like, just... And like it didn't help that like the Fraser Minton news with Rookie of the Month, and I'm like, I'm just sick of looking at you. Like, it's not even just that you're not playing well. I don't want to see you anymore. And he played a very good game against Calgary. He hit McDavid and he fought a guy he probably shouldn't have fought. But that's part of the price you pay for being in the league.
That's your job.
Yep.
That's what you paid money.
Yep. And he did it without hesitation.
Yeah.
I have to say that I respected the fact, even though it was a totally clean hit and there was nothing wrong with it, the fact that Darnell Nurse was like, I don't even care if it's a clean hit. I'm still going to fight you.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it should be.
That's what every fight is. Like, this is how we should watch fights. It's like, hey, there's a little thing there. Go fight.
But you're not, like in the 80s, you didn't touch Gretzky. You didn't even hit Gretzky because they would kill you. And I feel like a little bit, it doesn't have to be like the 80s, but I do feel like, hey, it was nice to see the Oilers stand up for the guy that's going to win them the game. Mm-hmm. And we don't do that here in Toronto, or at least we haven't. And so I respected that. Do I think there should be fights after clean hits? No, but when it's Connor McDavid, I get it.
Every single time.
Every game.
Dude, I was half mad.
Yeah, don't
on behalf of Canada.
No, well, because Carlo hasn't really thrown a hit of consequence this season. And then he takes McDavid down in the final game before the Olympics. And I'm like, now, that's when you choose to throw your, thanks, Brandon. Look it up. Where's he from? It's got to be the States.
I think there should be a fight every single time that happens to McDavid.
I 100% agree.
I think that was the correct way to use fighting in hockey.
That's what the Islanders have done with Matthew Schaefer. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter.
Touch him, you're dead.
Don't touch our friggin'. Don't touch
our fucking water bottle.
Oilers
our fucking water bottle.
Oilers play again tonight, by the way. So there's no chance for him to get injured. The Morgan Rielly number, I don't think you should gloss over it.
I think it's legitimate.
It feels like there's enough evidence here that when you remove this player from the lineup, they play a different type of hockey and maybe he doesn't suck whatever energy he's sucking on the back end, and they look good.
I think they're trying to force feed the $7.5 million that he makes into this lineup.
Even when he
this
plays...
Is where, hey, one sec.
Sure.
And I want you to say what you're going to say. What did we say? What did I say? Because I'm owning this one, okay? What did I say?
Do it.
Right after Game 7.
They got to trade him.
Sit down, have a conversation, say, Morgan, it's over. Mm-hmm. What do?
Oh, they kicked the can down the road like they do with everything.
They did sit down and have a conversation.
Sure.
And then they said, okay, you work out a bunch. See how that goes.
No, they said he was at the best level he's been at in years, and he's at a new peak in his career, and this is going to be the Morgan Rielly season. That was the narrative coming into training camp.
And then game number 1, he was the best player on the ice, and we all said, well, hot damn.
Look, they were right. And then what happened?
I was rooting for that.
It was his last, honestly, it was his last game where you could say, yeah, there's the first star of the game, Morgan Rielly.
So every time he takes the ice, I interrupted you. What did you say? Or what were you going to say?
He plays too damn much. Like, some people are like, yeah, scratch him. Like, all right. No, but he does play way too damn much.
He's not a 22-minute a night guy. He's a 16, 17-minute a night guy.
Like, how many times have we looked down at the box score and gone, what the why? Mm-hmm. Like, playing 3 or 4 more minutes than the next closest guy. No.
Nope.
That body has ridiculous miles on it. And you could argue, even before the injuries, he wasn't all that good. All right, whatever. We don't need to do all that. Let's focus on what we can fix now. He plays too damn much. Mm-hmm. He plays way too damn much. And I think when he gets back in the lineup, he's got to be down. I don't think they're ever going to play him 16, 17, but give me 18.
How about this? The power play was 2 for 2 with Oliver Ekman-Larsson at the point.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it looked fantastic.
Now they have scored on their last 3 power plays, and he got the last one.
Okay, but how many times do we have to suggest that having a threat from the point
I
is a
agree.
good idea on the power
The
play?
Michelli tip, that was OEL throwing it right at the stick to get it tipped. It was really smart play.
McCabe.
Loved it. Oh, that was McCabe, right?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Even so,
Doesn't know yet.
doesn't matter.
Well,
My bad.
no,
McCabe-
it goes to the point that like you don't have to be that player in order to pull that off. Like Jake McCabe has been on the power play before. Like, okay, let me ask a question. There are obviously defensemen who excel at it. Does it take a rocket scientist to quarterback a power play?
I think it takes some skill and some smarts,
yes.
which OEL has. I
Yeah.
think he's a very smart hockey player. I think that's always been his thing. He's got high hockey IQ, along with a big frame and some great intangibles. But he's like 34, 35 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So no, he doesn't have to be Cale Makar. Just do what a normal guy on the power play will do, or what you should do. And I think that's what the first power play unit's been missing at the point. Again, it goes back to if Morgan Riley's there, they know he's not going to shoot. So I'll cover the other
And if he
4 guys.
does,
If he does, that's not a threat.
No, he was going to miss the net.
He doesn't, and that's the thing is too, when he shoots, he doesn't keep it down. That the slap pass that Jesse mentions, the Jake McCabe slap pass, that's an OEL special. That's where all his assists are coming from this year. It's that or it's rebounds, right? And so I don't understand why this is like taboo to talk about. This is a guy that I think doesn't need to be there anymore. And it's maybe because they're going, well, if we kill his value now, it's going to be real hard to sell him in the summer.
Do you worry about a Jacob Trouba situation where they blow up a locker room because they're forcing a guy out?
I think the difference with the Jacob Trouba situation, and I think that's a really good point you bring up, is that they were coming off an Eastern Conference final.
yeah.
The Leafs have never been to the Eastern Conference final in Morgan Riley's time here, and that's not all his fault, but he's been on every single one of those teams, making the playoffs, not making the playoffs, every single one of these coaches.
Yeah.
What are we preserving?
And Trouba came after Barclay Goodrow, which was like even drier.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we're just going to waive you then. Damn. Like, that was, I understand. And I'd also like to know his place in the locker room. Because I remember, I want to say it was like the trifecta of Riley, Matthews, and Freddie. Very early on, Freddie Anderson, not Tocchet. Like very early on, like so many different characters and whatever have come through that locker room and are in that locker room. I'd like to just know his place. Like I feel like it would just be so much easier to understand moving off of him.
Who this is Morgan?
Moving off of Mo.
Yeah. I think it's a respect thing. I think that he's a really good person.
I don't
think
want
that
to see him
he's-
pitched out the door. Like
I do.
well,
I think
no, but
and-
not unceremoniously.
not unceremoniously, but Steve, it is a professional sports organization, and at a certain point, you need to sit down and go, okay, this is what's gonna happen.
Right.
You can refuse to move now. You'll move later then, and it will not be fun because I look at teams that are look at what Colorado's done. Not that they've unceremoniously pitched people out the door, but when Casey Middlestat didn't work out
Rantanen.
there, when Bo Byram, Rantanen was pitched out the door, but he didn't have trade protection, right?
Right.
Bo Byram, Casey Middlestat, I guess Mikko Rantanen as well. When they didn't work out there, the first two, Rantanen worked out just fine. They were like, yeah, get the hell out of here.
Right.
Get out. When Vegas doesn't want you anymore, get out. And so
I mean,
you gotta-
I hated the way they treated Marc-Andre Fleury. They immediately won a cup.
like I agree with you. I think the way they treated Marc-Andre Fleury was awful. He had just won the Vezina Trophy.
Or it
too.
might have been 2 years later. I
But
don't know.
they did win a cup.
Yep.
And I think you've got to, the Leafs, it's not that I need the Leafs to go to Vegas's level or Joe Sakic's level in Colorado. I need them to do a little of it. We grew up in the era of, not grew up, I guess, in our late 20s, early 30s, Kyle Dubas and the guys going, we signed this guy out of Russia. It's not quite working out. Why don't we give him away? Guy proceeds to do quite well at the next team. Why are we, I understand doing right by the player. How much has that filled up your bank account? Your bank account of goodwill, as Brian Burke would say. It's professional sports. If it's not working, make a move.
I wanted to look up Morgan Riley's DB and just check and see. for the context of how long he's actually been here.
It's over 900 games.
Crazy, dude.
Look at the 13-14 Leafs roster that he started with.
Oh, let's go.
The Randy Carlyle Leafs. And it really puts it into perspective. Like, this guy's a part of the walls at Scotiabank Arena.
Yes.
Man.
He's been here through everything. On the team, the 13-14 Leafs, like I said, Randy Carlyle, Phil Kessel, JVR, Kadri, Bozak, Lupul, Franzen, Gardner, Phaneuf, Kuhlman, Gunnarsson, Greg McKegg played a game that year. Bernier's on the team. Reimer's there. It's all of the old Leafs from
Reimer's
like
there? Okay.
Yeah, there's Reimer.
Sorry, I'm trying to count. I count 3 people still in the NHL.
Yeah.
James Reimer, who wasn't a few weeks ago.
Van Riemsdyk.
Van Riemsdyk,
Pod.
Kadri, and then obviously Riley would make 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the funny ones is Mark Frazier, who's like the community liaison for the Leafs.
Yeah.
Like, who's had that role for like, I don't know, half a decade now with the Leafs.
Doesn't Troy Bodie also work for an NHL team, I want to say?
Like, Morgan Riley's worked with these guys who have been retired for a while now and like work for these NHL teams. He's been around for so long.
Isn't Colton Orr like a PWHL coach? Or he was, no, where did he coach? Was it in the NWHL before it folded? He definitely coached.
Troy Bodie is the director of hockey and business operations for the Seattle Kraken's American Hockey League farm team, the Coachella Valley Firebirds.
There you go. And
He's been doing it since 2021.
Oh,
it's
my
2026.
And isn't he Tim Lewicki's son-in-law?
I have no idea. Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, that's Riley's teammate. And I wonder if it shouldn't be hard for upper management to make that decision with Morgan Riley because that's what you're paid to do.
Yep.
But it's got to be a very personal decision here to move off of him. But it's the right thing to do.
I think we are all at that point. Now, does that mean he goes somewhere else and flourishes? I can see it. I'm not saying
Absolutely.
I'm not saying he's not doing well, but I am saying he's not doing well. I'm not saying he's finished. I'm saying sometimes it's time to change,
or if
move
the
on.
Leafs were able to make him their third best defenseman, like, oh yeah, like that's awesome.
Jesse, but we've spent the entire time on this
Adam
show.
will not let you. He will not
How
let
many
you.
times have we said finally a defense partner for Morgan Riley?
No. I'm saying get 2 guys who are like so much better than him. And
Actually,
he's
they have
playing,
3. Tanev, McCabe, and OEL, and one of them isn't playing.
but those guys would have to be positioned as the 1 and 2 defensemen,
Right.
And he's always going to be that number 1 guy, which is a shame.
Missing Tanev has really screwed things up because they were positioning him to be further down.
Yes,
Like
they were.
all the toughest minutes have been Tanev McCabe, but you've had those 2 together for how many games this season?
Well, but they were
Not a lot.
They were trying to put OEL on the third line to start this third defense pair. Had Tanev not got injured, that's what would have happened. To me, it's like, okay, well, if you were going to keep that group together, which I hope they don't, because I think OEL will fetch you a lot. OEL second pairing minimum with somebody, and Riley on the third pair. Now.
I would say we didn't know that. Like we didn't know OEL was this good.
I know they didn't play him enough last year, but I liked him all last year too. I was horny about that signing when it happened.
He
Could
took
you imagine
so many penalties.
third pair Morgan Riley?
I think he'd be great.
That's a cup team.
Oh, now here's something annoying about the Leafs, right? Because we're having all these conversations now, like all their problems are solved. I look at this 3-game road trip.
I did not say that.
No, I know. I know.
the Leafs are perfect again.
Now wait. Give me a sec. They win 3 straight. Well, who'd they win 3 straight against? The Edmonton win surprised me.
Sorry.
Second half of a back-to-back, 20 hours after the previous game that was in a different city ended. It's not a league. Calgary? I'm sorry, you should kill them.
And they barely beat them.
What are you talking about? The Leafs suck. No. The Leafs are mid. You suck. Can I give... The Leafs are 16th in the NHL. I hate the Atlantic Division. They're 16th in the NHL. The Flames are 29th. The Leafs have 63 points. The Flames have 50. You suck. The Leafs are mid. And they beat Vancouver. Well, the Leafs suck. You suck! The Leafs have 63 points. The Canucks have 42. Which has led me to think, I hope they sell. I do. Because they're not making it. At the end of the day, the bar is the playoffs. They're still 5 points out. There's still another non-playoff team ahead of them. Mathematically, you're not making it. Should they tank?
No.
I don't think. I'm starting to look at the math and go, I don't think tanking's a good idea at all. So you want to...
It's a retool, though.
It's a rebuild. No. I want them to retool, but for the... you know what started to creep in is like sort of half wanting them to lose games so that you get into the lottery pick position.
They're only five positions out of that. You only have to be in the top 10, I think, right? Or
Well,
bottom 10.
It's not, to me, it's about points.
Okay.
The Leafs have 63. Okay. The bottom 5 teams have 42, 49, 50, 50, and 52.
So you want the Leafs to win to make the pick less good.
If they miss the playoffs by 1 point.
That will be the best scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because it's still, could the Bruins win the lottery with that pick?
Sure.
The 15th pick that somehow moves up or whatever.
No, I don't think you can
Oh,
jump.
no, you
that
can't
high.
with that. No, sorry.
Okay, fine.
You could jump. I think you can
10
jump
spots.
10 spots. You could jump into the top 5.
Yeah.
Right.
But like,
Mathematically, is that likely?
No.
No. But if you start to tank, you're going to end up
Gifting them
9th
pick.
last, 8th last, 7th last, 6th last. You're not the bad teams. There was a lot of parity. No, there's a cream of the crop now. You are never in your wildest dreams catching the Canucks. The Canucks have to get hot and you have to basically lose every game. That's not happening. The Blues stink.
Can't score.
Cannot score. They have 49
And they're like,
points.
let's get rid of Robert Thomas.
Like, again, you have 63 points. They have not hit 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Rangers and Flames have 50. You're not catching them. The Jets have 52. The Blackhawks have 53. Even the Devils have 58. The Preds have 58. The Sharks, who might make the playoffs, have 58.
Yeah, but you're not in that division, so let's not. I've seen a lot of that too, by the way.
Talking about the standings.
I know. I'm
what
just
I'm
saying there's a
saying-
lot of cope going on in Leafs Nation. Like maybe we should go for it. Look at we're
Okay.
basically right in line with that.
I'm
We're
not
in that
saying they
division.
should buy. I'm not going to go there. I do want them to retool. I am slightly worried about tearing it down to the studs.
Well, that's why we're not doing that. That's
Because
what
of
a
the-
retool is.
Exactly. Because of the math doesn't math. Go Leafs, go. I hope they win every game for the rest of the season and let the cards fall where they do.
Yeah, I think that's the correct attitude to have, because one, you don't want to have your own pick this year, because that leaves you vulnerable to 27 and 28, where those picks are unprotected, and if the Leafs have a bad year, those picks just go to Philly and to Boston.
Yep.
That would be the worst case scenario. You want this year to be outside of the top 5 so that you can give Boston that first round draft pick. That's a goal. And plus, this team now with William Nylander back looks so much better than the team without William Nylander. Like, there's evidence here that, like, hey, they had a bunch of injuries.
Oh, yeah.
They're not bad at all. They looked really good. And I think a large reason they looked good the last 2 nights because Willie's playing great.
Holy
And there's somebody who wasn't
shit.
tired from a back-to-back.
Yeah.
He had his best game of the year in Calgary, and then he comes in on against Edmonton last night, has another great game. This team isn't a terrible team, and I don't think anybody's making that up.
They're
so
mid.
this is where we need to define what a retool is, because I think people don't understand the word. Toronto, we've never seen one, and we've never definitely seen one successfully. A rebuild is what we did from 2013 to 2015. Basically, when Shanny took over, they missed out on re-signing Dave Bull and were sad about it. And then they extended Randy Carlyle.
That was like
but-
Shanahan's first move.
It wasn't, it wasn't great off the top. But what they did was they stripped it back, and were still able to hang on to some key veterans, like, as you showed there, Jesse, Van Riemsdyk, Gardner, Kadri. They were quite young, but they were still vets. Couple hundred games between the three of them, whatever.
Yeah, Kadri went through the rebuild and was here when they were good again.
A retool is, hey, we're going to sell some and we're going to buy some. That's what a retool is. So let's say the Leafs were like today before the 3:00 deadline, they pull off a trade.
The 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
We're not just going to gloss over that, Adam.
No, the 3:00.
The 3 penis.
That's what they call
deadline.
it. In Britain.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. Anyway, 3:00 deadline, they pull Artemi Panarin out of their hat. And he's a Leaf now.
That would be insane.
Okay?
Okay.
They're still going to sell.
Why are we recording right now, by the way? Like,
I know.
We're stupid.
I know. We're begging for the trade deadline. I think you got to make like, listen, I don't think Artemi Panarin's coming to Toronto, but you understand what I'm saying. It's not about this year. It's about next. When Boston pulled the plug last year, they were 2 points out of a playoff spot. What have they done this year? They're in the wild card. They're not great, but they're in the wild card.
Glad you mentioned Boston, Adam. Let me emphasize how frigging difficult it's going to be for the Leafs to make the playoffs, if that's what you're still hoping for. Let's say every team in the top 10 in the NHL stays where they are, just to make the scenario easier. Let's say the Leafs move up to 11th. That would involve them passing the Ducks, the Blue Jackets, the Oilers, who are second in their division, Vegas, who leads their division, New York Islanders, who are in a playoff spot in the East. They would be 11th in the entire NHL. They still would not be in a playoff spot.
And
They would be 11th in the league. And I think, 5th or 6th in the Atlantic?
Yep.
No,
And
6th.
if
They
you
would
just-
still be 6th.
If you just go by like the points they'd need, it's about 100 this year. And for them to get 100 points, they need to go something like 18-6.
Didn't I ask this question months ago? I was like, wait a sec. Like, are we going to see like 100-point wild card team? And yeah, it's kind of looking that way, man.
If you think the Leafs can go 18-6 plus all of the other teams lose enough games so that they can get in that bar, like, good for you.
Yeah.
I don't believe that is the case.
18-6 might not be enough.
And no matter how good it looks on the standings, where it's like, oh, there's only 2 teams there, they're within 5, it's still an unreasonable ask for them to run from March till the end of the season at that pace and everybody else lose. Like,
So-
they haven't shown that they can do that.
If the number one worry is the pick that you're going to end up giving Boston, I think best case scenario, you're giving them like pick 13, 14, or 15.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be a worry. Every Leafs fan should want to give that pick to Boston this year. That's the pick's going to Boston.
Sell me on that. Sell me on that a little bit more.
The pick is going to Boston.
Okay.
You've already traded it.
It's shipping off to
done.
Boston.
It is either going to be this year, in 27, or 28. It's already gone. This year, you can send it to Boston, and then next year and the year after, you will have a first-round pick in one of those.
You will not.
Depending on the Philly deal.
Yeah.
You'll have a pick there, and then you don't have to worry about sending an unprotected pick to Boston in case you are complete dog shit in 27 or 28. If this thing went way off the rails, Auston Matthews leaves, no one's here anymore, the team is bad, there's a whole bunch of injuries, and 28 they finish last, and you took your pick in 26, and all of a sudden it's unprotected to Boston or Philly in 28, you could give the first overall pick.
You might even
Zach
get
Galifianakis from The Hangover with like whole.
you might get
equations going
the
around
Jesse.
your
You might pull a Tyler Seguin out of that. You know,
Like,
The
remember, it's CJ and Julian did a great job rehashing this with San Jose and Ottawa, because Ottawa ended up with 2 top 5 picks because San Jose sold too far into the future, and then their window fell off the rails, as it does happen in pro sports.
And it was Tim Stützle and
Jake Sanderson.
Jeez.
They got
That would've
2 picks
kickstarted
in the
their
top
rebuild.
5.
Yeah.
And then now you're sitting there, you're like, unprotected pick going to the other team, and we're awful, and we don't have our own pick.
We are rebuilding. We are no longer rebuilding.
right. And
We're praying this year that pick is the 15th pick, right?
So then, okay. You sell Bobby McMahon, you sell Scott Lawton, they're UFAs. You might even get a crack at bringing them back this summer, right? You could.
I hope so.
Yeah,
But, you know,
I really hope they don't fall for the culture thing and keep Lawton just for this little whatever, re-sign him. Go get your assets, and if you really want him to come back, make your push in the offseason.
Scott Lawton makes $3 million. I know with the Leafs it's 1.5. But I can't see a world, and he's my favorite guy, where he makes more than that. And I think for the Leafs.
what was the dollar amount?
With $3 million. He's going to make 5 next year.
You can't.
And I don't think you can pay him that. Christian Dvorak, dude. I know Christian Dvorak scores a little bit more, but Scott Laughton on a bad Flyers team put up a lot more points than he's
Somebody's going to look at his penalty killing abilities and everything he brings to the table, and they're going to pay him.
He's going to get 4 to 5.
And the Leafs can't be that team.
They can't.
That's just another mistake.
Unless
Jesse,
he decides he really loves it.
Can they
No, I don't
really
care.
Can they really be the team that pays Bobby McMahon between 4 and 5 million? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I think you've got to have maybe Nick Robertson is going to make $3.5 million because he's an RFA and you can kind of push him around a little bit.
Jeez.
But Nick Robertson is the next guy to come up and score 20 goals and not be particularly great defensively that the Leafs have. You can't commit that to that player. And I think so I think those guys, you should trade them. And I love Scott Laughton. That hurts me. Okay. Then you've got Brandon Carlo, who's got 2 years left. Well, this year and next.
At a pretty manageable number that you can make even more manageable.
3.485 with the Leafs currently.
Yeah.
And then if they could cut that in half, use the retention slot, maybe that ups the value. But what about Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who has been spectacular this year, is older, on the Olympic team. He may never be this good again, but you sell him, you're not going to have him next year. So if Oliver Ekman-Larsson's gone, then you must replace what he brings. And I would expect in the offseason that Morgan Riley will also be gone. And Simon Benoit could be traded. Brandon Carlo could be traded. That's like Jake McCabe, Chris Tanev, and a bunch of merry men. No disrespect to Troy Stetcher, who, maybe they can re-sign him at a reasonable cap hit.
He better be gone.
Troy Stetcher?
At the deadline.
He better be gone. So you would go, Jesse, if this is all things being equal, if they were going to retool properly, and I, by the way, tend to agree with this, you have Tanev on LTIR. He doesn't need to play again. McCabe is going to play the rest of the year. Riley will play the rest of the year, get traded in the offseason. OEL gone, Carlo gone, Benoit gone, Stetcher gone. And then you're dressing Myers, Rafai, probably William Villeneuve, and I don't even know who else for the rest of the season. Are you okay with that?
Is Simon Benoit gone?
I think he's a valuable trade asset.
So I was about to say,
I could see holding on to Benoit.
You can hold on to him.
Yeah.
You can hold on to, imagine with OEL, if you get to, I don't know if this is the greatest scenario, but you could potentially have your cake and eat it too, which is keep him for the rest of the season and move him at the draft. He still has 2 years left, right? And you can still do
But
all
I think
those
your
things.
highest leverage is now, because any acquiring team is going to have the same questions I do, which is, that's so great that you had a great year. Can you repeat that next year?
Right.
Whereas if I'm the acquiring GM now, I'm going, you're having a great year and it's this year, and I get you this year.
The problem I'm starting to have, because again, they're mid. They're not awful. They're mid. I'm looking at a guy like Stetcher, and let's say he gets 2. I don't know if that's insane anymore. My brain is still adjusting to the new cap reality.
$2 million, you mean?
$2 million.
Yeah.
I don't think
2 times 2.
I don't think that's insane based on how he's played.
I think right now you have to get as much value as you can out of these guys.
And I agree with Jesse, because here's what'll happen. Okay. If you're retooling means buying.
Yeah.
So what you need are assets. And you can, one of the guys that I would love to have on the team one day, if he makes it to free agency, is Mario Ferraro, who is available from San Jose. If San Jose does not re-sign him, apparently they're not quite close yet. That's what I'm hearing.
They have time.
They got time, lots of time.
Lots of time.
If he makes it to free agency, get after that guy. If you want to buy, and you never know who's going to shake loose throughout a year. If I had said to you guys in September, guys, there is not a fucking chance in hell Quinn Hughes finishes the year as a Canuck. You'd be like, LOL, Adam.
Right.
Why would they trade him? They're trying to win. Right? You don't know what's going to be available when. Artemi Panarin, at the start of this year, if you had asked anybody, they'd be like, yeah, he's going to stay in New York no matter how well they do, because he loves it there, and he's going to extend, and they're going to extend him, and it's been a partnership that's worked out really well. Well, that's not happening either. He's been held out. My fantasy team was dying. I only get to edit once a week, and they hold him out of games, damn it. But apparently there's a lot of rumors that he's going to get traded before 3 o'clock today.
Which is
So
gonna suck for us.
If you don't have the assets, if you do not have the assets, then you can't make that buy. So when elite players become available, you can't put a package together for them.
This is part of the reason, I've been stressed about the fact that Monday was 200 days since the Leafs made a trade.
Now it's 202.
I guess we're at 202. Okay, if you don't make a move any move at all before this Olympic trade freeze, the first few days of March are going to be a frigging hurricane.
I think that they'll have the entire Olympic break to figure out the trades they want.
Yes, and the Bruins' little retool at the end of last year happened pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like Carlo Marchand happened in the span of like 10
Can
minutes.
I run you down the players that they acquired at
Please.
last year's trade deadline?
Yes.
Because it is a master class in a retool.
As much
And
as I hate it.
It's so they got Kustaninov, I'm going to say that terribly, for Brazeau in this deal to the Minnesota Wild. Really great young player who's making an impact for them right
And
now.
a pick.
And a pick in that. They get Casey Middlestat for Charlie Coyle, plus a second-round pick there.
They got a 26-year-old center for a 33-year-old center.
And who's William Zellers?
And-
He's 18.
Hey, what happened to Charlie Coyle in Colorado?
He didn't stay there.
And one thing I think is also important to show, they bought. They got
Henry
Jokiharju for a fourth from Buffalo. And then they also do the Brad Marchand deal where they get a first-round pick from Florida.
Hilarious.
And then they do the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Here, Jesse, if you can go down a minute there. Zellers, where the lowest price is the law every day, is a 2024 third-round pick. So you're basically getting a third.
Yeah, but you're getting an accelerated third.
And
Because he's already developed.
Yeah, a third with a name,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? That's not Magic Beans. That's a guy with like a license.
Like, I fully expect whatever Jesse, this is great that you pulled this up. And the Trent Frederick deal. Let's point that out.
Oh, yeah. The Trent Frederick deal. I haven't even done the Max Wanner deal where they get for the Max Jones over to Edmonton. Like, it's fantastic stuff in just restocking the cupboard and getting a whole bunch of young guys. And like, to their credit, everything kind of worked out. You don't know if it's going to work the same for the Leafs and the Victor Soderstrom.
Well, yeah, you hope the Leafs management's smart enough.
Yeah, so you never know, but you got a little guidelines on how to get this done. And then at July 1st, they go and get like Victor Arvidsson from the Oilers, because it's like, hey, we also need people.
Yeah. And he'd been bad.
So
he's good.
The Leafs, you want them at this deadline, go move Troy Stetcher for whatever, get your picks, and then come July 1st, you're building back up with all the assets you have.
And at the draft, redeploy those picks. You don't have to use these picks, the 2027 and the 2028 picks. You don't even have to use the 2026 picks. Buy with them. Yeah. Fine with that. If that's what because listen, everybody that wants us to go through the retool again, everybody thinks of 2015, 2016 when they think about the rebuild.
Right.
You're not, I guarantee you, and I only remember it because we were doing this podcast, right? You're not thinking about the 2 years that led to 2015, 2016.
There was a lot of bad by accident before they got to bad on purpose.
Yeah. And they were atrocious to watch in the Peter Horacek era. Awful team to watch. And then the crazy thing is the Horacek era ended and Mike Babcock came in and promptly had the team finish last in the league. Like, this is not a fun process. You're not going to enjoy it. It's going to be 24 months or more before you start to see the fruits of your labor. And you know what? It's been so interesting watching the discourse about Auston Matthews. I said it last show. I'm going to say it again. Elliot Friedman talked about how Matthews' representation in the Leafs had a conversation last week, and I'm assuming it's Judd Moldaver. And Judd and Brad sat down, and he said, Brad said, Judd, and they talked, and they said, is Matthews going to go if we sell it this
Judd
deadline?
said, no, you're Brad.
and the Matthews camp was like, no, we're not going to leave.
Right.
The Toronto Maple Leafs, despite our misgivings about how they've performed in the playoffs, have given Auston Matthews a team that is at or near the top of the division every single season, with the exception of 16-17 when they squeaked in. Right? After that, they were top 3 in the division every year.
Yeah.
They've given him playoff opportunity after playoff opportunity, 9 straight years of it. If Auston Matthews was going to leave at the first sign of trouble, he never should have been captain. And I think he's willing to rebuild, not towards next season. They're not going to be a contender next year. They're not. But if they build smartly, they could be the year after. And it doesn't mean they're not going to make the playoffs next year. But the idea that they're somehow going to sell now, fire right out of the gate, and be any better than what Boston's been, which is fringe wild card team right now. They are 8th.
They are simultaneously a fringe wildcard team and a top 10 team in the league.
Yes, hilarious, but that's the division you're in.
Right.
And
but what I'm saying
that
is
way.
like that puts you in striking distance, no matter where the cards fall.
So that is what the Leafs need to get back to. I don't think this Auston Matthews relationship falls apart unless there's multiple years. And even Sidney Crosby, he won cups, but he had multiple years of not making the playoffs, which led us, after 3 years of it, to go, how long is he going to hang on for this? Well, they're going to make the playoffs this year, so it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Are they a contender? I think they're a sleeper to go on a run at best. At best. But it's a chance. And I think Matthews is willing to ride out this storm, go through an intelligent retool. If they fuck it up, yeah, he's going to go. And he should. But if they don't, if they're just kind of smart about it, they don't have to be brilliant. You got to bring in more elite talent on defense. You got to bring in somebody who's the pivot point on that defense. You're going to have to bring in a second line center as well. John Tavares cannot be the second line center going forward.
There's a lot of work to do.
If you're smart about it, you can do it. I mean, listen, would the Leafs take, if you could trade Nick Waugh for Casey Middlestat right now, like last year's deadline, right? They would have done that. No? You don't like Casey Middlestat that much?
No.
Scores more.
He does.
He could be a second line.
There's a reason why he scores more and no one seems to want him.
Probably turn it down.
My point is this. There is so much opportunity here to turn this around. All is not lost. And it's not because they're on a 3-game winning streak, because that's not a... Let me tell you what Mark Spector wrote about the Oilers. Can I read this to you?
Oh, today?
Just shivved them. 57 games into the season.
Did he approach them before shivving them?
I don't know.
No,
57 games into the season, the Edmonton Oilers have 64 points. They are, to this point, an average team playing slightly above average on some nights and well below on others. They resemble a Stanley Cup contender at this juncture of the season, about as much as the Vanier Cup resembles the Super Bowl, or as much as I resemble Brad Pitt.
That's funny.
I think that's hilarious. And I think that's true. I don't think the Oilers look all that great. I don't think they play great defense.
They're 1 point up on the Leafs.
I know. So it tells you that if they retool this quickly and smartly, which they can do, they're going to be fine. Also, you need some health. Chris Tanev's got to play next year. What are they, 6-3-1 when he's in the lineup?
Yeah.
That's a major guy to lose.
That's a pretty huge swing that, like, you don't even know if he's going to play.
You know he's going to play. The groin injury will be okay. Apparently, it's significant. Like Ekholm was talking about his not feeling. They were saying on the broadcast his didn't feel right till December this year. And I think Tanev's injury is similar to that.
See, that seems bad.
He played.
He's older,
but he's playing great now.
Tanev is older.
Oh, he's older. Yeah. Okay. All I'm saying is this can be done. Super Bowl 60 deserves a sports book built for the moment. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 60, puts you right at the center of the game of the year. Actually, in fact, people are calling it Super Bowl Licks because it's LIX is the real Roman numeral. Super Bowl Licks.
Calling it that.
No, it is. It is. Super Bowl
people.
Licks. Yes. The people are saying.
Funny.
Now, Jesse.
Yeah.
If I were to go on a DraftKings right now and I'm looking at some props, what should I be looking for? What would you lean towards?
You gotta bet the coin toss. It's just heads or tails. Game starts. You're in on it. It's fun. It's something everybody can enjoy. You know, your mother and your dad and everybody can get in on heads or tails.
Now, if you're aggressive about it, and we know anything can happen in the Super Bowl, DraftKings has your back with early exit. If a player goes down in the first half, you still get paid out in cash immediately once your bet settles. No bonus bets, no waiting, which is key. New to DraftKings, new customers bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use that promo code SDPN. That's code SDPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
For anybody that's fretting about Auston Matthews, guys, can you please, I'm begging Leaf fans, have some self-respect.
No.
Have some self-worth. No. Let me say this. Say this. I understand where the PTSD comes from.
Well, then what are you telling them?
Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Sean Green in my generation, Carlos Delgado eventually, Roy Halladay eventually.
They just got Nick Waugh for Mitch Marner.
I know. But don't believe the press clippings. It's actually pretty great to play here. Just ask a former Leaf. Any one of them. Ask Doug Gilmour. Ask Darcy Tucker. Ask Shane Corson. Ask Curtis Joseph. Ask any of those guys. What was the favorite part of their career? They're all going to tell you it was Toronto. And they play for some damn good teams. And I'll tell you, there's a reason Doug Gilmour signed a bunch of autographs in Toronto. He won the Cup in Calgary. You know that.
Yep.
It's wicked to play here. Mm-hmm. And this bullshit from the outside, specifically from the Florida Panthers, about how it sucks and it's so hard and blah, blah. Bullshit. Nonsense. You got to answer some questions. You'll be fine. These guys are going to look back on this time in their career, specifically the guys that have been here a while, and gone, yeah, I did have it pretty good. That was pretty sweet. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like we got to get over this. We got to move past this. Matthews is committed. Relax. It's all going to be fine.
There's some, I don't want to say timid. They're not timid fan bases, but they're jittery. They're jumpy, and they have reason to be. I was talking to someone today about Flyers fans and their vitriol
We're getting to
over
that,
the Michkov stuff.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Now, some people are like, where the hell does all this come from? Well, a lot of it comes from this kid was supposed to be the second coming, and he hasn't quite been, and they're blaming the team for it. And if you were bad for a number of years, and then this kid shows up out of nowhere who looks like he can be a 50-goal scorer, mm-hmm. and then all you hear the next season is he's fat and plays 12 minutes. Mm-hmm. You would feel a certain way about that as well.
And management traded a guy who's going to get 30 plus goals this year.
Yes. Yeah, Cutter Gauthier. Yeah, screw that. It looks pretty gosh darn good.
It was a bad trade always. It's still a bad trade. Just admit it.
Yeah, okay, yes, you got Zegras. What if you had both?
Yeah. And
what if you had Zegras and Gauthier?
Could have had both.
Now, yeah, Gauthier, where's some of that, blah, 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 blah. All I'm saying is, to any neurotic fan, I see you and I hear you. You are seen and heard.
I think those feelings are pretty valid.
Yeah.
If you're worried about a superstar leaving Toronto, you have every right to be worried.
But this superstar is not the other guys. This guy's
know.
not bitching about the media.
Things are one way one day and then they change.
I don't think he's ever, but has he ever shown any degree of, you haven't ever got a hint from that camp that they wanted out. Sign the extension as soon as he could.
It's not about the logic of hey, this is all the evidence there. It's just about what you've been through as a fan. Okay. And I understand that if you're a Leafs fan and you've been through a lot, that you're a little worried.
Then give me a little bit of latitude here and say, but on this one guy, it seems to be different.
Now, in fairness...
Right? We all thought Guerrero was going to leave, and he didn't want to.
In fairness, Adam, did you see what Brian Matthews said the other day?
His dad?
Yeah. Did you see what he said the other day?
What did he say?
No, did you see what he said the other day?
No, I didn't.
Me neither!
Oh.
And it's great!
The Oilers, by the way, they went 4-4 on their in their last 8 games. They allowed 32 goals in their final 7. And there's 32 goals in the last 7 games.
The Oilers.
Yeah.
That's a lot of goals.
Yeah, it's a lot of goals. That will be very interesting to see how they address that at the trade deadline. Could you interest Edmonton in Troy Stecher? Do you think that the Oilers would trade back for Troy Stecher?
That's
probably not, right?
Fascinating. Well, I was about to say he'd fit right in. Maybe he wouldn't. They waived him for a reason.
Yeah.
And I remember him playing during the Cup final. It was either last year or the year before. And I was like, ooh, that wasn't very good, Troy.
Yeah.
You didn't look very good there, Troy. He's come to Toronto and he's been given a bigger role and he's done really well in it. I'd love to know. Here's the thing. It did not work out. He wasn't on waivers because he was good. He wasn't on waivers. His thing went well in Edmonton. It's almost like if they were to go out and get anybody, they shouldn't get him.
Right.
It didn't
So maybe
work.
a Benoit.
And it doesn't mean he's bad and it doesn't mean they're bad. It just means it didn't work.
Not a system fit. Like maybe Morgan Riley with Berube.
He could be perfect, but I don't know. The evidence seems to show no.
Most career winning goals by a player with the Maple Leafs. Matthews is second with 66. Matt Sundin is first with 79. John Tavares moved into the top 10. He is tied with Daryl Sittler now.
Damn.
42 game winning goals with the Leafs. On a related note, according to StatCenter, which is TSN's stats group, the most 20-plus goal seasons recorded by a Leafs center in franchise history. Sundin has 13, Keon 11, Matthews 10, Sittler 9, and Tavares got his 20th last night, number 7 in his time with the Leafs.
Damn.
He is the best free agent signing they've ever made.
He's been so good.
He's been incredible. Jesse, do you have anything else you want to add to the Leafs?
Game-winning goals is my least favorite stat in hockey.
Why is that? Give it to you. Tell me.
It's irrelevant to the meaning of it is.
You could technically score a game-winning goal in the first 5 seconds.
If the game is like 5-2 and you scored goal 3, then that's your game-winning goal. Stats are supposed to show you like something.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't show you anything about what this player did in contributing to a win. If it's a game-winning goal in the sense that it's, hey, goals that are scored during a tie game in the last 10 minutes of a hockey game that then the team goes on to win. If you specify it like that, then the stat shows you something.
Right.
A game-winning goal that's scored because it's a 2-1 game and you scored that goal in the first period, that stat is meaningless.
I think it means you're clutch in the first.
It does not show me anything. It shows you that this player scored a lot of goals throughout their career, and that's why game-winning goals, the list of people who have a lot are just guys who scored a lot of goals.
Jesse,
And then the guys who score a lot of goals are the best goal scorers and the best players we have in the history of hockey.
Yeah.
Why don't we just look at the fucking goals they scored?
let's go through a scenario. All right?
Yes.
A guy named Nate Nuthatch
Yeah.
scores a goal
Love him.
15 seconds
I want a
in.
nuthatch.
Cole Harbor, Nova Scotia's Nate Nuthatch.
Cole Harbor, Nova Scotia's
Yeah.
Nate Nuthatch scores a goal 15 seconds in. It is his team's last shot of the game. Their goalie goes on to make 40 consecutive saves to seal the win. And the headline the next day says, Nate Nuthatch plays the role of hero.
Nate Nuthatch scores game-winning goal.
Scores game-winning goal.
It would have been the
stat-
goalie. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And what it is trying to say, because the words game-winning goal are trying to illustrate this goal led to a win. It did. It did in the very literal sense, but it did not lead to the win in the sense that that was the goal that propelled them to the victory.
So you need a clutch goals thing.
Exactly.
So goals scored in the last 5 minutes,
Exactly.
3
Yeah,
minutes?
what I just outlined, and you nerds can figure it out. I'll join you on the nerd bag when I'm pretty nerdy myself. We'll all go nerd out on what it should be, what an actual clutch stat should be, whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's 7, whether it's 10. We'll all determine that when we bring out our calculators. But the way it's defined right now, I hate the stat.
You know who led
It's ridiculous.
you know who led the Sabres in game-winning goals in the 90s? No one does. Dominic Hasek.
I thought
It
you
was
did know.
Dominic Hasek.
yeah.
Like no one
Yeah.
does.
No.
Brian Holzinger. I don't know. Like
I hear-
Dominic Hasek.
I hear game-winning goals. Like, oh, did he score in the middle of the second and then the other team didn't score?
All right.
It might have been first period. Like honestly.
Well, congrats, John Tavares.
Yeah, congrats on the other thing.
No, we established fuck him with that clip.
Yeah, no, he can take that and put that as crowd chamber and suck it.
All right.
The 16 seasons with 20 plus goals is really cool.
Pretty great.
That's a great stat.
Yeah, it is.
I
It
like
is.
that one.
You're right. All right, so we're going to leave it there. We're going to bring Julian McKenzie on to talk about his new book, Black Aces. So give us just a sec. We're going to bring him on. Let's do it. Hey, this episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Now, I have a question, gentlemen. Would you consider yourself good at pickup lines?
No.
No. Now, you don't have to be, Steve, because you met your wife at 19.
Yes.
Yeah. Jesse, how were you in your single days?
No, I got zero riz. I got negative aura riz.
It's not just about the Riz.
Skibbity toilet.
It's about the sustained love in your life. And because February is, Valentine's month and there's a lot of love in the air, what are green flags for a relationship? If you're looking for romance and you're looking to find your way through romance, sometimes therapy can help with that too. That's why we want you to try BetterHelp. 30,000 credentialed therapists. They are available at your fingertips. And I mean that literally. You don't even have to talk. Sometimes it can just be a message chat if you're more comfortable with that. It can be a FaceTime. It can be a phone call. And it can be at any time of day or night that works for you. And that's the key part. You're usually matched with a therapist within 48 hours. If you don't have the chemistry with them, you can switch it up. It's no big deal. And we want you to try it. 10% off at BetterHelp.com, promo code SDP. So BetterHelp.com/SDP, 10% off. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/SDP. The book is called Black Aces. It is the essential stories from hockey's Black Trailblazers. It is about, among other names, Steve Dangle, who's in the book.
Yep.
Julian, it's so interesting that you made Steve a central character in this book. Can you tell us a little bit about that and why you felt like, Steve had a lot to do with Black excellence in hockey?
You know what this book needs? Steve Dangle.
Is it an autobiography about Steve?
Yeah.
Bro.
That you co-authored?
How much zoo content is in this, Julian?
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
I worked there for 7 years, which is...
That's actually the first thing he said when I spoke to him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was like, I just worked at the zoo. And he just wouldn't stop talking about it. But we found ways to... Eventually, I got him to talk about Jerome McGinley.
Oh, okay.
That worked out for them.
Jerome McGinley is important, yeah.
I think if you're going to ask somebody about something, it's Steve Dangle about Jerome McGinley.
Of all the people I interviewed for this book, I think Jerome McGinley, the most compliments, the nicest things said about any of the players profiled, Jerome McGinley was that person. Just like a super kind individual off the ice, but also on the ice, like a mean son of a bitch.
Yeah, no kidding.
But like Dangle obviously was great with that and talking about the golden goal. He was great. Yeah.
How much of a recluse is Jerome McGinley?
That is exactly
How
what
did
I
you
was
get
going
a
to
hold
ask.
of him, I think is the question. Yeah.
Yo, I remember, so I was still in Calgary at the time, and I think it was like a training camp thing because it would have had to have been late summer, early fall. And he was up at in Calgary, they have a practice facility, Winsport, which was essentially built during the Olympics in '88. And
everything in Calgary.
Yeah.
They built it for the Olympics.
Yeah.
They built nothing
And
else.
then-
Didn't build anything else. Yeah.
he was like sitting up in this like high area in this practice facility. And I had to like will myself up to be like, all right, this is the day I go to Jerome. I'm like, hey man, like, do you want to be in this book?
Mm-hmm.
I was so scared. Like, I was like, hey, so Jerome, my name is it's like as awkward as this. And, yeah. And I was like, do you want to be in this book I'm writing about Black hockey players? And he was like, yeah, sure. I was like, really? Like, I did they say really?
Don't sell him on it, Julian. Just take the yes.
No, but
What if he said, never mind?
I would have just been like, you know what? That's totally fine. And I would have just gone home and Black Aces would have never happened. No, but in all seriousness, Jerome was one of the first people I approached with the book. And he was so gracious with his time. And working with him on a forward was also really special too. And talking to him about the 2002 games, the 2010 games, that was awesome.
What did you find out about him personally that maybe the general public doesn't know? Because he's an enigma. We want to know more about Iggy.
Yeah, I would say, what did I learn about him? I would say learning about the fact that he had people growing up who would look at him and be like, are you sure you want to play hockey? Like, there's not a lot of Black people who play the sport. And it's like, I get that there are other people who might have gone through that, but it's still just kind of surreal to kind of hear that from a legend like Jerome, who looked up to people like a Grant Fuhrer and a few other not as known hockey players too. A guy like Claude Vilgrain who played, I think he played in New Jersey at one point. He played for a couple different teams. I think he represented Canada at the Olympics once upon a time too. I think just to know that was something that he thinks about a lot, because there are guys who try to be like, hey, like I just want to be known as like a hockey player. But the fact that was something that Jerome kind of conscientiously thought about his time coming up, like that was something that was pretty interesting, I thought.
When was this book conceived? Like, when was the first time you had an idea for the concept of this
I want
book?
to say like summer, late summer, early fall 2023. So the beginning, and I go through it in the intro of the book, when Bill Peters got hired in the Western Hockey League in late August 2023 by the Lethbridge Hurricanes. I covered that story for The Athletic, and I was there for his press conference, and he's there trying to show contrition for what he did to Akim Aliu. For those who don't remember, he coached him in Rockford in the AHL and delivered racial slurs toward him. And a couple years after the fact, Akim Aliu goes on Twitter and says that happened, and there was no apology delivered. And then Bill is there, and he's trying to deliver this apology. He was trying to cry. It looked like he was crying. I mean, that's all I'll say about that. And nowhere in that press conference or anything we did with him after the fact did he say like, oh yeah, like I went to him and I said, I'm sorry. Like I think even 30 minutes before his press conference started, Akim put out a tweet saying like, hey, I still haven't received an apology. And when I followed up with Akim a couple months ago, he said he still never got it and he doesn't expect to get one. But anyway, after that event ended, I just remember being really angry. Obviously, as a journalist, you have to be objective throughout a lot of these events. But just as like a black hockey fan, I'm just like, really? Like this person did a very bad thing. Yes, they worked with a couple different organizations to try to rehabilitate themselves, but they didn't go through the big step of, trying to
apologizing to the one that you wronged.
Yeah. And Jesse, we talked about it on your podcast not long after that happened. And like, we made it, the whole thing was like, oh, he had like 4 years or whatever amount of time to apologize. No, he had like 13 years to work through that. And it never really happened. But I remember being angry about it. I wrote a column about it. And then 2 days after that, the agent I'm working with, Brian Wood, who obviously knows Steve, he was like, hey, have you thought about writing a book? And then I've wanted to write a book since I was a kid, but I just couldn't think of a really cool idea. And then one day I was in the shower and I thought, hey, well, what if I put together a compilation of profiles on different black hockey players? And next thing you know, I just got started.
Best ideas always come in the shower.
Yeah. That's exactly what I think.
Whose story are we going to be most surprised about? Because I look at a name like Kevin Weeks and like I don't know a lot about Weeks' background. I know he likes to show his forehead when he's breaking trades, but outside of that and like obviously the playing career, I don't really know about the personal side about his life. I think is anybody on that list like really shocking?
Kevin, I like Kevin's story where I focus on the fact that he delves into media and he's essentially the first black hockey insider. And he apparently he was on a beach. He was in Barbados. He had played all these years in the NHL and he's trying to figure out what's next. And then he gets this offer to work in TV or he's at least considering it. And he he's still on the beach and he comes across this Rasta man who's on the beach and he's all like, hey man, you have to take the TV job, man. What are you doing? You can't, he speaks to the whole beach.
Really?
Yeah, that's what happened. And he was like, all right, I guess I'm going to do it. And then he gets an audition for Hockey Night in Canada and they're like, all right, cool. You got it. So
wow.
Yeah, he took advice from a Rasta man on the beach. So that's one story.
Right.
But Herb Carnegie, which I know throughout this whole process, I've gone on different podcasts and stuff and talked about some of the bigger names. But I mean, the name Black Aces, you think of the original Black Ace, that's him playing on the Black Aces line with his brother, Aussie and Manny McIntyre when he played in Quebec. Blake Bolden, I hope people are interested in that story. I love telling that story. She does a great job on Amazon Prime. But not to give too much away, but she woke up early in the morning with her mom and her grandmother delivering newspapers and they would do these early routes. And one day they meet a security guard in Cleveland who happens to work at the local arena when they're playing International Hockey League games. And then she develops a love for the sport watching the Cleveland Lumberjacks. And I think Marty St. Louis was on one of those teams too. So
okay.
Yeah.
Some star power.
I didn't know any of that. That's amazing.
or Dante Abercrombie, who not a lot of people know now, but we'll see what happens by the end of the year with the men's hockey program he's starting at Tennessee State University. This is a guy who he had a YouTube channel where he was trying to show his journey to try to make it to the NHL. Then he ends up taking up coaching. And I think in between there, he had a playing opportunity in New Zealand. And there's a lot of story with Dante. So I think people read that.
One of the, the idea with Black Aces is everybody has a shared experience here. This is,
right.
It is objectively, if you just look at the numbers, a fish out of water thing. right?
It is.
You're a black kid stepping into a predominantly white sport. And, I remember when, Jesse, when we did Boko Imama on Agent Provocateur?
Yes.
And he talked about in Montreal being the only black kid in the entire, district that played hockey.
Yeah.
What are some of the threads that run through in every story that people are going to go, okay, because we keep coming back to this because it's a theme?
Definitely the fact that a lot of these people who are profiled, they're the only black person who's playing the sport. And whether it's if you're a male, if you're someone like Jerome who, maybe you don't see too many people like you, or even someone like Sarah Nurse who, I'll even go one step further with her. One, she was like, okay, there aren't a lot of people who look like me who play, but also up until a certain age, she was like, wow, there are women who play hockey, professionally or for the Olympics. And she even says straight up in the book, with Angela James, she's like, if I knew someone like Angela James existed, that would have completely changed the trajectory of my life. So yeah, there's a lot of that throughout, I think. And particularly, I also want to shout out Georges Larac, who, when he came up in Sorel Tracy, I think it's the same hometown as Marc-Andre Fleury, he would go to games. And there was one game in particular he went to where his parents just either they were subjected to racial slurs or they saw that George was, and they decided, okay, we're not going to these games. We don't want to see.
Why would we be there?
Yeah, well, why would we be there? So George would have to take himself to games. And just like some of the other people I've mentioned too, he also had people go up to him and be like, hey, are you sure you want to, play hockey? Blah, blah, black people play hockey. So those are some of the commonalities you'll come across a lot in this book.
And I know you're doing an event tonight.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that? I know it's a little bit a late run for everybody, but I still think it's worth mentioning.
At a different book list at the Blackhurst Cultural Center on Bathurst, 6:30 to 8:30. If you are not available for that night, February 27th at Another Story, that's where I'm going to be also at as well. We're going to be doing a few Toronto events.
And are you and not just Toronto, because obviously this podcast covers more than just just Canada. Where else are you going to be? Where else can people meet you, talk to you?
Montreal for sure. We're doing an event February 12th at Argo Bookshop. Ottawa February 15th at Perfect Books, and there may be more coming because literally before I got here, I had someone call me and they're like, hey, have you thought about going to insert city here? And I'm like, yeah, I want to go to insert city here. There's a few insert cities here that I very much want to visit and take this book and showcase. So we'll see what these next couple of months will look like.
And best place to find all those dates and places you're going?
My Instagram, JK McKenzie.
Oh, you're just trying to pump your followers now. I see what that.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
What do you mean? I'm here. I might as well.
Hey, I gotta ask this because and I know we're gonna wrap here in a second, but what I do want to ask is your parents are both university professors, right?
No. So my dad works with MBA students at Concordia. My mom worked primarily as a receptionist at a CEGEP. She's kind of in between stuff right now. But my dad was more. My grandmother was like a elementary school teacher. So I have teachers in my family.
What do you think they feel about this? What has because I'm always curious about that. I remember I saw Tina and Gary's reaction. Give me your parents, and I know your grandmother's a character.
Both my grandparents, both sides of my grandparents are characters, but my parents seeing them happy and seeing them proud, it brings a lot of joy to my heart.
Were you in the room to hand them the book, or did you send it to them?
So here's the funny thing about it. So when I got my copies of the book, my parents were on vacation, so I FaceTimed them. I was like, hey, I got it. My dad insisted on going to a store and buying a copy for himself. So he went to an Indigo and he goes to the counter and he's like, hey, I want to buy this book. And he's like, oh, you want to buy this Black Aces book? He's like, that's my son.
That's so cool.
My mom eventually did the same thing. And then what's actually funny is, so I did an event at my church in Montreal at Union United Church. And I brought a limited amount of books and people were lining up trying to buy copies and getting them signed. It got to a point where my parents had their copies with them and they were like, here, just take it, buy this one. Yeah, so
we're gonna run out here.
Yeah, that's it. That's literally what happened. My godfather showed up, and my dad was like, "Hey, I got mine. You take it."
That's very cool.
It's been a lot of that, but also it's not just them. A lot of members of my family too have been really happy, and I'm just over the moon with the success of the book so far. And yeah, it means a lot.
Are the Ottawa Senators a playoff team?
Yeah. I got to know.
That depends on what the rest of the Atlantic Division looks like.
If you have to pick a side right now, gun to your head, gun
Gun to the earth, Jesse.
both.
What's the line that Max Kellerman said? Like
Gun to the
earth. Death
Gun to the
Star.
Andre Iguodala. Yeah. Are you taking the Sens making the playoffs?
Are they Andre Iguodala for you?
Yeah.
Man.
Or are they Steph?
Okay, well, here's the thing. So you need so much to go right. I think the goaltending is starting to stabilize itself. I think it's good that Linus Ullmark is back. And I mean, James Reimer I don't even think he played that badly against Carolina the other night. The first time he played against Carolina a couple of days earlier, that wasn't as good. But like, at least that's starting to get better. The team's able to generate chances still. There's still limited chances. It's just, could Buffalo stop playing so well? Boston, you're hoping maybe Detroit and Montreal too. I think it might be too many teams to depend on.
Boston is the second wild card and 10th in the NHL.
Like, if you're Ottawa, the only thing you can do is win all the games you can win and just hope some team falls.
Could they still buy at the deadline, though, regardless?
I still think, here's my thing about it. Like, you don't have a first round pick this year, and your guys are playing a style of hockey that, you know, if you have league average goaltending, I think there are guys on that team who think like, hey, if we get in the playoffs, like, watch out for us. If I'm Steve Staios, that is something I am very much considering. Like, if you sell, like, okay, maybe you get something for a Nick Cousins. Maybe like when David Perron comes back from injury, is he someone you're getting something for? You could do that, but also, like, I think the group would be revitalized if you bought. The problem is like, you don't have a lot of draft capital. You don't have a lot of enticing prospects that you are willing to move, because the word has been that they don't really want to move off of Carter Yakupchuk. I could totally see a situation where you try to buy something small, but I mean, you know what? We didn't expect anything from them last year, and then they ended up with Fabian Zetterlund and Cousins.
Yeah.
There's a team that plays stealth mode. It's definitely them.
More important question: when will the Ottawa media shut the hell up about the first round pick? I know
Timeout.
I know the owner there is peddling this. Oh, give me back the pick
I need
stuff.
timeout.
Everybody needs to shut the hell
I need
up
a
about
timeout. I need a timeout for a second.
It's not happening.
I need a timeout. The fact that you asked that question that way speaks to a crazy, I don't know if we can call it a problem, but a phenomenon that has been developing over the last how many years when it comes to hockey media, in the sense that people like me who cover the team every day and people like Sens Talk are basically being put in the same pool.
Right.
Where like,
I get the same.
Right.
And what you're saying is you're better than Sens Talk.
I'm not saying that.
I work for the New York Times. I'm Julian.
No.
I wrote a book.
Hey, when's Sens Talk book coming out? That's what I want to
They'll
know.
refer to me
Times
as author
credentials.
Julian McKenzie.
By the way, shout out Brandon Plant from Sens Talk. He'll see this clip and he's going to lose his mind.
Yeah.
But my point
He's a
is,
good guy.
I've already forgotten the name, Julian.
Don't worry, Julian forgot it first.
but the point is,
I'm joking! It's a joke!
Go ahead, Julian.
the point I'm trying to say is, when you say, Jesse, media won't stop talking about the first round pick.
No.
I'm not doing that. Bruce Garriock ain't going around being like, when are they getting the first round pick back? Callum Frazier's not doing that. Alex Adams is not doing that. But you know who keeps asking that? Sens Talk does.
I think
Sens Buzz does. Jammy, like I'm name dropping a bunch of people. Those people are the ones who are like, hey man, we want that first round pick back, and they're going back and forth with people on Twitter who are out here saying, hey man, this team did something wrong. We're going to penalize Ottawa anyway. Like, that's what it is.
Totally.
Don't put us in the same basket with that. I still think I would still be stunned if they got that first round pick
So
back.
Julian,
if they got it back, it'd be great for them. But
are
like,
you
I'd be
saying
stunned.
that they don't deserve it?
I'm not saying that.
Okay, I am, but
Here's my whole
here's
thing.
the thing.
Here's
It's not Michael Andlauer's fault.
It's not his
but
fault.
it is his problem.
Here's my whole
and
thing.
he went about it the wrong way.
What
Yeah.
do you mean he went about it the wrong way?
He openly and very publicly asked Gary Bettman for that pick back. That is the wrong way to curry favor with the overlord master of the owners.
Yeah.
And if he wants that pick, he's got to play the game. And then now he's not going to get it, and he's going to go complain about it. He felt screwed. And
he
publicly
talked about it.
talked about
He
how
talked
he
to me
was
about it,
screwed,
yeah.
and that's not how you do that.
Now,
I'm not saying that's the right case. I'm saying if you're in the game, you have to play by their rules.
Is that
he's never going to change the rules?
Here's my thing. I don't even know if him talking about that. I don't know where this is going.
We're just watching the two of you.
Go ahead.
I don't know if him openly complaining about it would even make a difference. Because here's my whole thing. You go back to that punishment with the New Jersey Devils. Look at all the things they took away. They fined him like $3 million.
Yeah.
It was like a 4th round pick. And then they decided, you know what? We took all these things from you. Since this has gone on long enough, we'll let you keep this 1st round pick, which will be the last pick of the round. The Ottawa Senators, the only thing they got punished was a 1st round pick that they've deferred 2 times over.
Yep.
And the NHL has said, like, hey, we take that punishment very seriously. Gary Bettman went to Ottawa and he said that. So in my head, if you're going out and you're saying like, hey man, like, you know, we have to give you this punishment, and that's the one thing you're taking away from a team. Could you imagine if the Sens said, hey, we're going to give this back to you? Like, the precedent that would set for so many
no,
other
we're on the same
teams,
side
I
of
think.
this. That would be ridiculous for the NHL to give them no punishment.
Here's the thing. I understand why Michael Andlauer and Steve Staios would be upset.
Sure, of course.
Because Pierre Dorian was the GM when that happened.
Of course, and he wasn't the owner.
No, like that doesn't have anything to do with me as far as I'm concerned. Like,
And he felt screwed in the sale. He thought he should have got a couple million or whatever
Absolutely.
off if he knew the team didn't have the pick.
That's an asset.
I think the Senators have every right, as they are right now, to be upset or feel the way that they want to feel. What's just unfortunate is this is not a situation where the Senators lost a bunch of money and all these other things as punishment, and then the league says, hey, you know what? Fine, we're going to keep this. This is the one thing that they're trying to take away from them.
Yep.
And like, I just would be stunned. I'm not saying, oh, the NHL should keep this pick up, whatever. I'm just saying, I would just be stunned if it got to a point where the league said, you know what? We're going to let you have this 1st round pick back.
You're absolutely right on that,
Do you
Julian.
imagine
I think
if
you're right.
Chicago did this? You imagine if Chicago, like,
Well, listen, I can imagine a few things with Chicago, if I'm going to be honest.
not to
with you,
single
but,
out Chicago.
Yeah.
Does Labreton Flats get built?
In the next, like, if I see it,
Oh no! In the next, like, it's
it
not a
exist?
great way to start
No,
that
but, like,
sentence.
The next long pause. Whooey.
no, but like LeBreton Flats as it is right now, I mean,
Does it exist? Is it real?
I haven't seen it.
We think it's a
It is
conspiracy
real.
theory.
I've seen the.
I'm with you, Jesse.
It's in the Epstein file.
Whoa! All right.
Labretinanon, I think is what it's called, right?
No, it's a conspiracy
Adam's like, all right, we're gonna wrap soon. Julian tells
Julian's
the story
like,
about his
"Love the studios."
grandparents.
What the?
I have like tears in my eyes.
WWE.
And then Jesse goes, what about the Sens in the playoffs?
Yeah, how
and
do I
then
get-
starts talking about the Epstein files.
How do I get all
I
of
want to
Senators
know
Twitter
if
to
they
hate me?
exist. Bring out the Labreton Flat files.
This is great. Julian, is it going to get built?
I'm just gonna look
You're gonna
over
cut
you
him
guys
off.
here, man.
Hey, what was your answer to the Labreton Flats question? What do you think? Timeline.
I would think it's really difficult to put a year on it, but it's one thing for me to say that. It's a whole other thing when Michael Andlauer himself, and I'm going off of reporting I've done in the past,
Sure.
where they're still trying to figure out like how long it's going to take to decontaminate the land in terms of doing transit studies around there, in terms of how everyone can get there, because there's a lot that has to go into that project being a reality. And every time we've asked Michael Andlauer about it, it's like, okay, well, we have to do all these other steps. He keeps mentioning that he has to meet with indigenous leaders on that land as well.
Sure.
Like,
They have to get this right.
Every great
They have to nail
construction
this.
project has no end date.
right, absolutely.
Jesse,
But also,
It's the
but also
England
like,
of LRT again.
Jesse.
but this is not a situation where this is going to get built in like 2 years, like 5. Like if it gets built in 5 years, I think a lot of people would be stunned. Oh my!
Wow.
Because I mean, what's going on?
Jesse
man?
is
I'm just saying.
Julian.
No, this arena's
Julian's
coming.
never going to come back
It's
here,
coming,
man.
it's coming real soon.
Hey, bro.
No, yeah.
Hey, man.
No, it's great.
I love black people, man.
Yeah.
I love black people, man. Black people, we the best.
My favorite black person, Steve Dangle. Highlight of the
and
book.
that's why you should get
I saw-
Black Aces.
I saw the promo you guys did where you guys called Steve a black person.
Yeah.
Why'd you guys do that?
Why?
Okay,
Why
would
is
you
he
do
on the
this?
cover?
In defense of my friend
Why
Adam,
did
I
you
think-
give him the
I think
pass?
Jesse did that.
Don't give him the pass.
I don't think I did.
What?
No,
I don't think I did.
No, I was. I want to say this, Julian.
My parents are definitely not watching this podcast.
No, I hope
That's
not.
for sure.
I hope not. They
I
can do
hope
better
not.
than us.
sorry.
I want to say this, Julian.
Sorry, Mr. and Mrs. McKenzie.
And with apologies to Sens Twitter too, who are going to just love this segment.
Oh, yeah.
They're a fun group, and
They're great.
I have a lot of fun with them.
Great.
Every time I message, whatever, they're awesome.
Oh, they're great.
We are so proud of you.
Oh, what? Thank you.
I know we've been cracking jokes for the last 10 minutes, but we're so proud of you. We love working with you generally. But to see you, generally, like as in it's a general statement, we love you. It's not, we don't just love you because you produced a book, is my point. I didn't articulate that properly. You have, since we met you 6 years ago, really have just sort of come of your own. And I think you're doing such an incredible job with The Athletic.
Thank you.
But this book is, I think, a piece that you're going to be proud of for the rest of your life. And we are immensely proud of you.
Thank you, man.
And you're just in case you want to know at home, Julian McKenzie is a great fucking guy too. So thank you for coming in. And we're really pumped for you, man.
I just want to say it's a full circle moment for me because the first time I did an in-person show with you guys, I brought my copy of This Team Is Ruining My Life, and Steve signed it. So to be on the show and talk about my book and have Steve talk about it means a lot. So this is really great. Thank you. And you guys are great too. I could
Jesse less so though, right?
No, Jesse's great. I love Jesse Blake. I love Jesse Blake. I love Steve Dangle. I love Adam Wilde. I love Maddie. I love everyone at the STPN, man.
We love you, man. Congratulations. I want to tell you about the Scott McKay Foundation First Responder NHL Legends Charity Hockey Challenge. This features Doug Gilmour, Nick Antropoff, Brad May, and there'll be other people there too.
Those are guys I like.
Those are people that you like from eras that you liked. Eras that you liked. Anyway, it's in support of obviously first responders. And what's cool about this is that Scott McKay, who was on the show last year, he's a friend of the show, telling us about Darcy Tucker and his Coca-Chinos, Coca-Cola, and
former Leafs
Caffey.
equipment manager.
That's right. He's got his own foundation now, and Scott is obviously very, very involved in charity. And this isn't just a charity; it's the peer support for first responders who provide 24/7 anonymous support for police, fire, paramedics, and nurses dealing with PTSD and mental health crises. Run by first responders for first responders. It fits perfectly with with this sort of a thing, because you look at the numbers and they're kind of staggering in those professions, the people that have severe mental health issues because of what they've seen and what they've done, and they are heroes in our community. So it is cash only, $20. It's cheaper than a beer at Scotiabank Arena. $20 for adults, 10 for youth, and 5 for children. It's this Saturday at the Ford Performance Center, where the Leafs practice. Link is in the description. All right, so Philadelphia must not be in the real NHL because the fans there care. And they care a lot. And we referenced it earlier, but Matvei, Michkov, and Rick Tocchet have been right at the center of the crazy last 48 hours in Philadelphia. Let's start at the beginning. The Philly podcast, it's about the Flyers. And Rick Tocchet was on, and they asked him about Michkov, and this set off a firestorm, unintentionally.
Yesterday, Matvei Michkov, 10 minutes of ice time. The fans that I have spoken to are not happy about some of the things that have gone on since you've been here with the young player that we were all so excited about a year ago. What does he have to do to get to that level and earn your trust so he can play the minutes people like me think he should get?
So you think he should get it because he's earned it, because he came, like we've talked about it, and I'll be very frank. And Charlie, I'm a very frank guy. Honestly, I go down swinging. Yeah. Matty did not come into camp in shape, and it's hard to play yourself in shape. I have not told him or any other players, take a guy one-on-one, come out of the corner with the puck on a rush, like make a play through a rush. He's having a tough time in those situations. So. Yeah, you could say, well, other players try. I mean, I get it. Maybe they don't have the skill set, but we're trying to get them to that level, right? How to develop him, practice, making sure that you're on time for treatments and things like. There's so much into that. The way you eat, the way that's it. You don't become a star because you think, oh, this guy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking in general.
Yeah, sure.
Any person. Look at Trevor Zegras. For a couple of bad years, he comes here. Bought into a couple of things, and he's doing a hell of a job for us. He's a little bit of a slump, and I was trying to get him through the center position, see if I think there's a time to try it right now. Whether we can do or not, we'll see, and keep putting him out there. But so that's just, I don't know if I've answered the question, but that's kind of the rules of winning, right? The crust supersedes everything.
Now that is, I think, a pretty honest answer, and it went over like a bomb. And I want to help with context here.
Sure.
To help you understand why the Flyers' reaction, the fans' reaction was so visceral. And I'm going to stick up for fans here because we get a lot of shit in Toronto about caring about the Maple Leafs. It's really bad. You shouldn't do it. And caring for the Maple Leafs is bad for your health, objectively. Philadelphia, a little less so. But to help you understand, the Flyers fans have watched a team. Zegras is a good call-out. Once Zegras stopped scoring, they stopped winning anything because no one else can score, him and Konechny. The Flyers are 22nd in goals for this year. And what Flyers fans feel here, I think, is, hey, our head coach is sewering the guy that needs to be part of the solution to the goal scoring problem that we have. Now, the other side is Michkov didn't show up to camp in shape. And you can't play yourself into that. And so the rumors sort of went wild. And I think the Cutter-Gauthier circumstance has a little bit to do with this. And in the fact that you've lost a player and you sold losing that player to the market. He didn't want to be here. Really, he didn't want to play for Torts. You fired Torts. If you just hung on to the player and said, too bad, so sad, then you'd still have the player and he'd probably be playing for you. But instead, you made an emotional move. You moved Cutter-Gauthier. You didn't bring scoring back. Jamie Drysdale did get the game-winning goal last night, but it's not the same thing. And they don't want to see a guy run out of town, not by them, Flyers fans, but by the organization. A superstar,
or the media.
Well, the media's on his side.
Well, the media's taking a lot of shit.
You think?
Oh, they're in a foul mood.
Well, Jesse, the
media's in a foul mood, I should say.
So Daniel Briere, it got so bad that Elliot Friedman even said on his podcast, yo, you got to get in front of the media and talk. And
before moving on to that, I want to point out two very quick things.
Give it to us.
Jesse, can you pull that up just one more time? The clip that we just saw?
I'll have to get it again.
Okay. Oh, sorry, my bad. I thought it was there.
Okay, what do you want to point out about it?
I'll show you.
Okay, so we're going to bring it back up. This is a podcast.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to
keep going. Keep talking.
Oh, no, sorry. I thought we were pausing.
You're going to have to talk about the podcast.
Who is this on the far right? Because that's an incredible question that he asked. I wanted to shout that out. Here, Jesse, let the clip play just without the audio. I just want to point out how surreal it is that while he's asking this question, the only visible jersey is a Michkov jersey standing in line, and then another jersey comes in, and it's another Michkov jersey. I just wanted to point that out, a little Easter egg in the clip that I couldn't look past.
Okay.
There we go.
So Elliot Friedman then says, and I think that's a good point. It adds to what I was saying, which is the fans are invested in this guy.
There wasn't a yes and jersey.
Sorry, yes and. Yes and.
Fuck.
I didn't mean it to be that way. No, it's a good point. It's a good point.
The PHLY, the Philadelphia Flyers podcast is hosted by Charlie O'Connor, Bill Matz, and JP Zappa.
I follow Charlie O'Connor.
One of those guys is Charlie O'Connor? That's a weird thing about Twitter. Is like you
don't know anybody.
I followed him for many years. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I don't know what he looks like.
Regardless, it was a very good question and a very good answer.
Oh,
and I looked at that. I was like, how refreshing. Flyers fans didn't receive it that way. I would love some honesty here. I think that was a lot of. I think it got on the line of it's so honest, it's a little scary. Please don't run this guy out of town. Now, Elliot Friedman had to say, hey, Daniel Briere, you should probably talk to the media. And then Spittin' Chicklets had that clip of Biz saying, Flyers fans are idiots. I would go to war for talk.
And then I think that
said that ratcheted up things. So then Danny Briere and Jesse, I've got it there. I've got his media avail. He makes a media avail. Get this, okay? 15 minutes before game time.
That's crazy.
This is like in the stadium, 15 minutes before game time. I just can imagine Jesse being like, I'm already in the press box and we're watching warm up here and I got to leave and go down and talk to Danny Briere. You know what I mean?
No, he did it from the press box.
Treliving calling up TSN about the Jonas Eagle article was like, whoa, we don't see that very often. 15 minutes before puck drop. That's wild stuff.
Go ahead and play it.
All right, guys. I just wanted to address a little bit of the noise that's is going around, especially when it comes to a little bit of a rocky patch that we've hit lately. I know it's upset a lot of people, but it's just the reality of, a team growing. Early in the season, when we were, fighting for one of the top position in the division, we realized that, that was probably a little ahead of schedule. I was probably getting better results that, was warranted at the time. What's happened now, the way we've been playing lately and what's happening, I also know that, it's not as bad as the way we've been playing. So we're somewhere in between all that. It's important to keep even keel. One thing I've learned, as a player, is not to get too high when things are going well, not to get too low when things are sliding. So, that's how we feel. We've said all along that, our players would tell us, when it's time, but we're, it's still part of the rebuild. We're still dealing with a young team that, is learning, how to face those tough games, those tough experiences. It's all part of the process. So that's number one. The other thing is the, Rick talk
is 4 minutes. Are we?
Oh, okay. Well, this is the next one. Sorry.
Get Matvei, Michkov, that's out there. One thing I can tell you, first of all, is Matvei Michkov is not going anywhere. Let's make that clear. Okay. Matvei is going to be here for a long time. He's going to be a good player here for the Flyers, and what he's going through right now is all part of the learning process. So that's out of the way. He's not going anywhere.
That blew my mind. Like, never heading into the season would I thought Danny Briere would feel the need to clarify we're not trading Matvei Michkov. That's crazy.
Now, there's a third video I want to play for you.
Oh, no.
Now, you can't, I don't know if you can play the video because it actually does show the ice, so we can't. It is from a fan in the stands, but we can hear it. Okay?
Ooh.
So I just want you to hear what happens here, and I'll explain why it went down the way that it did. Because Flyers fans did not know about Danny Briere's press conference, which I think he came across pretty well. Thought he was a good GM there.
He wanted to calm the waters, and he was as boring as possible.
So, Jesse, can you press play on this and just the audio?
Yeah, show him. Pull it up.
Oh, it was removed. Okay.
This post is from an account that no longer exists.
Whoever posted it deleted their account.
Oh, that's
their entire account.
Yeah. So there were Flyers fans organizing a fire Tocchet chant to start right at the 19-minute mark, so a minute into the game in the first period. And that video that I had was a Flyer fan and the video, and I had it this morning. Like, I prepped this morning, so they've deleted their account recently, I guess. But they did have a fire Tocchet chant, and it did go off, and they were yelling fire Tocchet in the crowd.
Wow.
So that's how crazy it got. And
I can't believe Leafs fans would do that.
Well, I know.
They're so crazy.
Do you see what I was saying from earlier? Like, don't believe the shit. It's actually pretty great to play here. And it's pretty great to play in Philly, too. People care.
Yes. It's fans are fans. Like, just no one cheers for your team.
Yeah.
Right? So,
okay.
Stop acting like you're superior because no one cares.
Now, what is worth noting, Steve and Jesse, is that it appears bullying works.
Oh.
Michkov this season has averaged 15 minutes and 32 seconds of ice time.
I'm surprised it's that high.
Heading into Tuesday night, that was heading into Tuesday night. He played 15:54. Last night, his average ice time per game last year was just under 17 minutes. Now, the 15:54 is an important number because Tuesday versus LA, he'd played 10:21. And the game before that, it was 12:49. That's a 3.5 minute difference. Hey. That's a lot.
Hey.
Is that the Flyers not saying to their fans, okay, we got it?
Well,
because do you pay to see Michkov sit on the bench?
No, you don't. That's such a good point. Like, winning and losing and what's best for the team. But also, I paid to watch Matvei Michkov.
I bought his jersey, man.
Yeah.
You sold me on this guy.
I didn't pay to watch List a Flyer. Like, I paid to watch Matvei Michkov. Number 1, 2, and 3. Then you can start listing other guys. Give me what I paid for. Right?
It wasn't Dan Vladar that you showed up for?
It is now.
Christian Dvorak?
It wasn't at the beginning of the season. Like, they have 1 point per game player, man.
Zegras, isn't it?
It's Konechny.
Oh, it's Konechny. Okay.
Yeah, he's got 54 in 54. Konechny's under. Everybody else is under. There's no point listing them.
Jess, does this mean the Flyers? Does this mean that bullying works? Does this cause the Flyers or Rick Tocchet to take an inward look at himself and go, well, maybe Michkov isn't playing to the level that he's playing at, but he shouldn't be playing only 10 minutes a night?
I think both sides are wrong and right at the same time.
Okay, give it to us.
Both sides of the issue, but I think you got a situation where Michkov is at fault here for not coming into training camp at the correct weight. And because he didn't come into training camp at the correct weight, he's actually fallen behind in his strength training. They outlined this in The Athletic. So because he had to lose weight, he couldn't do as much strength training throughout the season to get up to a weight that to get up to the strength that he needed to play the type of game he wants. So he's been chasing that all year long. And with the Olympic break, it'll probably be a great little pause for him.
We're going to work his ass
to actually have the proper training camp he should have had with the nutritionist and all that. So we might see Michkov have a good March through April for this season. But that's on him. Like, you're drafted very high in the NHL. You're in line to make millions of dollars for the rest of your life. This is your job to show up in shape and ready to play hockey, and he didn't do that. So that falls on him, but it also falls on Rick Tocchet for his deployment of Michkov because he hasn't been helping his career. Obviously, he's been upset with that, but I think Rick Tocchet, some of this falls on him for just not playing a young kid the way he should be.
Follow-up question. Where is Michkov spending the Olympic break?
Hopefully with the Flyers train.
Yeah, I would
Hopefully
imagine.
With the Flyers.
Yeah. I think, too, that he's going to be better again. But what's interesting about this season is if he was having a great year, we'd be talking about what kind of extension is this guy going to get a year early. We're not talking about that, are we?
12.
Yeah.
I know there's something to the wings he's playing, too, because
he's playing the off wing.
Tocchet has him playing left wing when he's been a right winger for most of his life. And I think the Philly reporters were saying that Michkov doesn't have a problem with that, but I think it's just comfortability, a guy getting into the league, even though he's every hockey player is going to be like, yeah, I'm fine. You put me out on the ice, I will play whatever position you put me in. Put him at defenseman. He's going to try his hardest at defense. But are you putting him in a position to succeed? And if right wing is where he is going to be the most successful, your franchise, it's going to be lifted up by how good Michkov is. Mm-hmm. Go let him be in the position where he's going to be most successful. So that falls on Rick Tocchet too. And I think there's a lot of little things like that where he hasn't helped this player along the way, but Michkov hasn't helped himself.
We're not maximizing shareholder value.
Exactly. Yeah. You need to work through your lunch, sit at your desk and eat your sandwich and do work.
Hockey players have generationally not wanted to rock the boat. Jacques Plante was like, I don't want to get hit in the face with pucks anymore. And I've won so many games and cups for you. I think you should afford me that. And his coach was like, "K there, diva," and made fun of him and mocked him. And that's one of the greatest goalies of all time. And decades later, nothing's changed.
Yeah, I think both guys in this are wrong and right in their own different.
Because we're running low on time, I do got to move on to some other subjects. Very quickly, Sam Bennett will replace Anthony Cirelli on the Olympic team. Tough break for Cirelli.
That's interesting.
I'm curious about Braden Point. Still haven't heard anything there, and I'm wondering if that happens or if that's announced anytime soon. And if it's, because we did have that chat on Monday, who would it be? It is Sam Bennett. Who's the next one up?
Conspiracy theory.
Give it to me.
They're waiting to see how Hyman gets through tonight's game.
Okay, interesting. David Pastrnak, it's just been announced, will be one of the two people carrying the flag for the Czech Republic, or Czechia, at the Olympics, which I think is a pretty great honor for him.
Very cool.
If you haven't seen it yet, I'm just going to run through some of these. The Connor McDavid Player Tribune article is incredible. You'll want to die for him. And reading it as a Leaf fan killed me a little bit inside because I was like, first off, he mentions a couple Leafs that he loved growing up watching, Tucker, Sundin, and that sort of thing. Second thing is I'm like, I kind of hope he doesn't leave Edmonton. Because part of what he said is, I wanted to be the captain of the Oilers. He's talking about being a captain at 19. I wanted that pressure, no doubt, but I'd be lying if I said it came naturally to me or that the weight wasn't heavy. He talks about a whole bunch of stuff without this. But what I loved is towards the end, this is what he says. And let me read this paragraph to you because you just want to run through a wall for this man. He said, I don't want to play golf. I don't want to sit by the pool. I don't want to be in the Bahamas. I don't need a break or a fresh start. I just want to be in Edmonton playing hockey. I want to get back there, whatever it takes. And he's talking about the Stanley Cup final. if it sounds like a robot, then I guess I'm a robot. But I see it differently. It doesn't feel like work to me. It's just the game that I love. Ever since I was a little kid, it's been the same feeling. Every time you step onto a fresh sheet of ice, even if it's at 5 o'clock in the morning, you're just excited for that Zamboni to come off and for that barn door to swing open so you can hop out onto the ice. This
really
guy.
cool.
And there's a lot of love for Canada in here too. Damn. That's all I got to say.
What a treat. I'm so happy that we get to watch the Olympics soon. And I get to cheer for all these guys. Jesse, can I look at the second picture of that article?
Yeah. This one?
Yes.
Do you think you're there?
I think that's me right behind Sean McKenzie.
There he is.
That's me.
That is
Dangle.
you. Hey.
This is at
Is it a draft?
no, this is at friggin' Maple Leaf Gardens for they did an upper deck event for all the rookies and the cards.
That's James Myrtle behind you.
Who's this? The gangly dude?
That Slender Man.
Who's that?
My arm
Who's that
was
guy
so
looking
damn
above
sore.
everybody?
Yeah.
There's James. Hi,
Hello,
James.
James Myrtle.
I
Sean
still
McKenzie,
remember
we
this.
love.
I still remember this. That's I couldn't help but be distracted by it. I'm like, I think I'm in that photo. Excellent. Thank you for that.
Since the start of 2026, Nikita Kucherov has 39 points. Since the start of 2026, he has 39 points. He would be the leading scorer just in this past month on 4 different NHL teams. He has 76 in his last 36 games. He has 90 on the season, 1 behind Nate, 5 behind McDavid, on a 173-point pace over his last 36 games, 2.1 points per game. If you're wondering why, this is all thanks to Mike Amato, by the way. Mike's a great follow, especially if you love fantasy. If you're wondering why the Lightning can do so well with so many guys out, Nikita Kucherov's on fire. And here's the great thing. He doesn't have to play hockey for the next couple of weeks. So whatever bruises he might have, they're going to heal. And he's going to come back like a rabid dog out of the break.
Somehow better and more violent. Just reinforce those elbows. He's just going to spend the whole Olympic break just weathering them against a tree.
He has as many points, as many games with 4 points as he does with no points.
That's not real.
Yeah. Almost as many. Almost.
So it isn't real.
Literally wasn't
Not real.
Damn it.
Almost. I want to do a quick too, because I'm just running through this really quickly. Little shout out to the Columbus Blue Jackets. They've won 6 straight, guys. Since Rick Bowness took over, 10 games. How have they done? Give me just a wild guess.
6-3-1.
Okay, great. Jesse.
8-2.
9-1.
Get
Go.
out of this place.
They are currently sitting the team at the top, right below the Bruins, but there's still like a 4 or 5 point gap there between the two. So the chances of them even making it is difficult, but it seems to work out under Bones.
The Leafs are 16th in the NHL,
Yep.
and they have to pass in order to make the playoffs a team that is 10th in the NHL and another team who is 9-1 in their last 10.
Good luck.
I want to know if Dean Evison still thinks it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
That's why you don't do an interview immediately afterwards.
You don't.
You wait till the summer and you go, hey, that coach did a shit job. Now I can say, see, I told you it wasn't my fault.
That was a bad idea.
It looks like it's his fault.
That was a bad idea.
That's bad PR, man. That's just straight up bad PR. And you're right, Jesse. I think you're absolutely right. The Blue Jackets vibes are great, even if they don't make the playoffs. But how many moral victories can the Blue Jackets have, right?
Right.
So the question will be, Zach Werenski, I think, is going into his last year next year. They better make the playoffs next year if they don't do it this year. Last thing I want to do, because I did want to hit the Devils and stuff, but we just ran out of time. Devils are struggling. Sheldon Keefe had a pretty good off-ice avail last night. We're not going to get into it. Jesse,
Jack Hughes versus the media?
Jack Hughes versus the media is good too. Do we want to? I would prefer to do this because I think it's more fun and we don't have the time.
More versus the fans.
Yeah, I don't know. Jack Hughes is pretty.
Do you want to hit it?
Contentious, yeah.
All right. I just don't know if we have time. Do we have time?
Let's do Jack Hughes.
All right. All right.
I think that's the biggest story.
All right. Well, I was going to go into Ducks propaganda, but there was a if you're a goaltender, 10 the goal moment last night, and the Ducks took advantage. I don't.
There's always those.
There sort of was in the Leafs Oilers game.
I know.
Yeah.
By the way, Ducks 8-2-0 in their last 10.
So
fucking Ducks, baby.
Jack Hughes was asked,
Unreal.
what message do you have for fans that have lost hope in the Devils? The Devils are below the Leafs. They have looked worse than the Leafs, and probably this is a shit season for them. All is lost. So Jack Hughes was like, hey, some fans are out on you guys. What do you think? And this is what he said.
Had a hot start in October, November, December, January dipped a little bit. For fans that have kind of lost faith and looking at the standings, what do you want to tell them that makes them think that this team can go on a run?
Honestly, I have nothing to say to them. Honestly, like for us, it's just our group. We gotta figure out a way to win more hockey games, and we got 2 big games here before the break and after the break. It's a long time for keeping the league fresh, and gear up for a really good final 25 games. I think it is. So, it's on us to find a way to win more hockey games. Like I said, it's on us.
If you're going to have a press availability at an event like this, turn down the friggin' music.
Or put it in a different room.
Yes, this wasn't at any scrum afterwards. It was at the Devils Foundation, Devils Youth Foundation gala thing.
Yeah, just
that
put
they
it
had.
Put the avail in a separate room.
So Jack Hughes, he has nothing to say to the fans. He's an awkward guy.
Yeah.
But it's not a great quote.
It's a softball, Jack. That's a soft.
We're gonna fight through this. We're gonna try and win every single game we can for you guys.
They're setting you up, and
a 10-second answer where it's like, this isn't even a clip.
This is one of those gender reveal videos where the guy throws the ball and you took a swing and missed it, and it just turns into a blue streak on the ground.
It's in front of you.
I always love when they pick it up and try again.
Yeah,
It's like, nah, you missed it.
No, man, you missed.
So after this quote, though,
it's not great.
This is why we bring up the Blue Jackets. Who did they lose 3-0 to last night?
The Blue Jackets lost 3-0?
No.
Oh, the Devils lost 3-0.
To the Blue Jackets.
Oh, was it C-Bus?
And James Nichols, who's a great Devils reporter, was saying that there were some Fire Fitzgerald chants in the crowd, and he said it's just not loud enough because there's not enough people here.
Damn.
Shit!
And I think Jack could go. New Jersey's fiery, man. The fans are fiery. That's a. You know what? It's like the Islanders fans. Islanders fans run on anger.
I don't know, man.
Devils fans run on anger.
No, that's the real.
They run
NHL.
on we're pissed off.
That's the real. NHL.
I'm talking about the fans. I'm not talking about how the coaches see it.
I know.
And I think if Jack Hughes either challenges them or says something along the lines of, we're fighting every day for these guys. I know it hasn't gone the way we wanted to. My brother's out. He's hurt. I've been hurt. We understand the frustration, but we are here to make the New Jersey Devils Stanley Cup champions, and we're going to do everything we can for the remainder of the season to do that. People will be like, all right, fine, fuck him.
Great. Hell yeah.
But when you have, and I guess he's a younger captain, at a certain point, though,
he's not a captain.
Oh, he's not a captain.
He's a leader on that team, though. He is a leader on that team.
He is the leader.
He's Jack Hughes.
My point is
or typically
have a rah answer, even if it's bullshit.
He's never been rah in his life, so it's probably difficult. But that was a softball that should have never been a clip from a charity gala presser
that you can barely hear.
Adam, what time is the Sheldon Keefe quote?
It's not a long presser. It's actually, he's a little bit long. Don't worry about it. It's impossible.
You don't have the time.
I don't have the timestamp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't write it down.
It was a 20-minute thing.
Yeah. Well, and he's the first 8 minutes of it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's because it's Jonas. They put all of them together.
Do you have the quote?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it was good. Check it out if you want to. I think Fitzgerald's gone. I think Keefe stays, and I think Devils fans want it that way.
I think we talked about the Philly situation for a lot there and the Michkov stuff, but where the Devils are as a team with their expectations on them coming into the season, they're, to me, one of the most fascinating teams of this year.
Disappointing.
They're behind the Phillies, or the Flyers. They're
behind the Phillies too.
Yeah.
They're
barely I shouldn't say barely. They're just above the Rangers, who are the worst team ever. And then it's just Rangers at 50 points and then the Devils. And they were supposed to be a Stanley Cup contender team. They're supposed to be fighting for the Metro. And they're going to miss the playoffs by a lot and potentially have a top 5 pick this year.
But at least they got Siplikov. I think, Jess, the one thing the Devils do have are assets. They got cap space this summer, projected to be about $21 million. Both Hughes are signed. Okay. You don't have, I mean, Nemec is going to need a new deal, so that'll be expensive. But beyond that, you're probably okay. And you've got your first round pick this year, next year, and actually your first and second the next 3 years. Mm-hmm. You can go and buy at this deadline, still miss the playoffs, but bring in a key asset.
Thank goodness they still have their first.
Yeah, like you can do this. This is totally fixable.
I agree that it's fixable.
You got to get tough
at some point. You got to start winning games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How many years can we go? The Devils, bad luck.
And
like, are we gonna bad luck the Devils for a decade?
You gotta win games.
And you gotta hope next year's one of Markstrom's good years, because he alternates good and bad years.
I think first thing you do is get rid of the general manager.
Yeah,
it's over.
If I were them, I would call. Would you not call for Wallstead for a while? Apparently he's on the market. Would you not call and be like, "What do you want?"
I think the Wild are on drugs trying to trade that person, but yeah, I would absolutely. 100%.
Like, that seems like their goaltending fix right there.
Oh.
And
if you could trade for the best goalie on the Wild, you should.
And listen, Jake Allen's got a no trade clause, but I'd be like, Jake, you want to go try to win a cup with Minnesota? And you'll be the backup goalie behind Gustafsson?
You'd probably rather be the backup to Wallstead. But
you're not trading Markstrom.
No, but he's a different cat. Like, I kind of think he might want to just stay put, and that's why he signed that deal.
Yeah, he signed that deal where it was, remember how shocked we were at the number?
Yeah.
Like, he signed that to remain in New Jersey.
Then I don't know what you do with Markstrom, because he's got 2 more years. Now, the extension next year is for $6 million. And it's 2 years, and it's partial no trade.
Dougie Hamilton should be back on the table, all things considered.
Yeah, it's funny that he became like... For like 2 weeks there, it was like, oh, well, Luke Hughes is injured, so they're not going to trade him now.
Hamilton?
I was like, what happened?
Hamilton playing with Quinn Hughes on the Wild.
Is that what you want?
Is very funny.
I don't know if they can afford that.
Quinn Hughes and Dougie Hamilton playing together like we all thought they would.
I don't think Jesse was suggesting that you trade Dougie Hamilton to the Wild.
It would just
I was not.
No, but it'd be nice if he became available.
I don't know. That situation where your agent comes out and tries to skewer the team, that doesn't just go away. People don't just forget that.
Yep. Bit of a thing.
I don't know. The Devils to me are fascinating.
Well, they're one of the greatest disappointments this year, up there with the Leafs. And by the way, Demidov and Seneca, 46 points for Demidov, 43 for Seneca. They are leading 1 and 2 in rookie scoring this year, which is pretty outstanding. Matt Schaefer is in third. All right, we'll wrap it up there. Woo! So thank you for joining us. And thank you to Julian McKenzie for joining us. Pick up his book, Black Aces, in stores now. We're very excited for our guy, Julian. We've known about this book for a long, long time, and he has worked friggin' hard on it. There he is. His name in print.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.